believe I saw there. Nice.
And Unika, Unika is a very strong character still, even though her popularity has waned in recent, or in, I guess, the months following her release. Like, she's still a very strong character. Like, there's no other way to say it, but like, Kensei, probably one of the best equipped to deal with a character like this, although not off to a very good start.
Yeah, like father, like daughter, stun dipper at the very end here. We're going to go ahead, force a little bit of that thoughtless defense in there. We're going to look the trade out of the way there from Kensei. We're trying to find those moments in here, but we get the confirm right back into the daughter dipper one more time. That's not going to even need to break the wall because that's the end of the round for Soul Kitten 23.
Very good start for Soul Kitten, getting those early round wins. Definitely showing off your strength, but Kensei, I mean, you can never count out Kensei. This man has thrown out Dragon Install so many times and has been able to buck the trend of Dragon Install and to lose. We'll see.
I was going to say, if he has the baseball card average on the back of Dragon Install wins on there, Kensei's definitely on the higher echelon of that here. Right now, we got the confirm into the red RC. Tries to go into, just make sure to get the corner out of the way here, and manage to keep Soul Kitten back down in it.
Good button placement by Soul Kitten, getting that counter hit, and yeah, using the Wild Assault, but Kensei too high up. The laser doesn't break walls. This is actually a godsend for Kensei right now. And there we go, Dragon Install, just like we called it.
Oh yeah, just like right at the very end there, going to go ahead and break the wall. I like that setup too, because you go in with the charge stun edge on there. You're going to like, even if, like, that was the end of the round at that point, but you saw the wall crackle on there afterwards. You were going to get an immense amount of damage regardless on that. So taking one for each player here. We're going in for the daughter dipper one more time. Back into the neutral we go.
Oh no, Soul Kitten going for the DP. Kensei though, not pressing anything, and now Soul Kitten forced to give up first. Kensei, oh.
Right, a little bit of a wild assault on there. He gets in there with a jumping slash on there afterwards here. We are checking out it, but you know what? We just need that one little vapor thrust is all we need to finish it off. Like you said earlier, Squid Pub, Kensei is no stranger to getting into that top cut here. We're seeing a little bit of that wide, but Soul Kitten putting some work early on, just some, and I recall seeing something on social media, and I'm forgetting the players to like working through a lot of the ranked grind into Vanquisher on that. But we'll say that Unika is a character that is, like, matchups are only as complicated, like what you need to do as complicated as the character you're playing against here. So very much keeping it simple, and they're trying to get away from a lot of Kensei Kai's buttons on that. So that was Kensei who won game 1 on that as well afterwards. But we're going to get the follow-up and getting things immediate first from Kensei.
Soul Kitten, good button placement so far, although Gun Dipper rather does get blocked.
I like Gun Dipper. I like that.
I also liked Daughter Dipper, as he called it as well. Like that's two very interchangeable things.
And we go in and water down the original flavor, the vanilla stun dipper, coming out with the hit there from Kensei. We're going to go in with the Fooder Arc, another throw in here. We're going to go with the RC in here. This should definitely be the round here. You didn't even need it. That Vapor Thrust was for trick points in Tony Hawk. That's what that was.
Absolutely. You could hear the special sound off of that as well. Kensei off to a very good start, getting the big counter hit. And that wall splat means that Soul Kitten going to have to take that first with them through the wall.
And that we're using the follow-up on the dust there. We do catch Kensei from mid-air, though. A little bit of a hit, but we're playing the neutral game. We're trying to call out the anti-air there for Soul Kitten. And we go right into RTL. Not even RTL, just ride the lightning, the original flavor into the slash.
Kensei probably just getting a little warmed up after that first game. Definitely seems like he's in the pocket now. Soul Kitten, the ball is in your court. How are you going to adjust? Taking a little bit of time. Probably getting a sip of water.
Yeah, that's taking a little bit of time. That's enough time also to go into, if you were in the middle of the match, you need to take a break, you could probably go in there, hit that Match Arena button, click on that, claim the code, and then get right back into the battle. Just a hit if you're playing out there as well, and you haven't done that yet too. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Alright, well, all-important game 3 for Soul Kitten. Kensei can walk away with a 3-0 victory to start off tonight's ladder. Again, good button placement, getting that counter hit, just unable to convert. Soul Kitten forced to give up first.
Okay, overhead coming out, but we are switching over with the tap into the back throw. Not being able to detect these throws on here from Soul Kitten has been causing a lot of strife out here. We got the pressure, didn't even matter, we escaped from that, but you're not escaping from the sword. Kensei going to move on into set point.
I mean, if you're Soul Kitten, it does feel a little bit desperate. Seems like Kensei, after that first round, has got you all figured out. Half health gone after this wall break, and this is probably the last chance in order to make something happen.
Okay, into the charge, uses the double jump to get out of the way, but gets caught by the close slash in there from Kensei. Right into the right of the line, and you got the RC, you got all the wealth, but you don't got the follow-up, unfortunately.
Kensei tried to do something a little bit swaggy there at the very end, but you know what? Run up DP, gonna seal it up. Kensei only dropped.
Duel 1.
Ooh, Potemkin versus Slayer. Definitely a battle of two big damage characters.
This is definitely I saw a fair amount of Slayer at the tournament. Like definitely a little bit of Potemkin too, but one of my favorite matches I saw in pools was, I believe, I know Home Depot Potemkin was one of them, playing the Slayer in the Slayer mirror matchup. Like, if you need the chance, go look at that up on YouTube anywhere. You want to see just fisticuffs and map hunches and pile bunkers from day to day, like that big counter hit from Tatyana as we get into the corner right here. We're trying to get it with the 2H, but get the big hit. We're playing the bouncy ball with Potemkin.
Hold on, I just want to make sure I understand what you said correctly. Home Depot Potemkin played the Slayer mirror?
That is, yes, I was just as shocked on that, but it was wild, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was like, it was perfection of a pool match for sure on that. Right now though, it's going to be Hugdroid took that over at the very end. Like with that, going in close range. We're just checking those lows, checking those ankles. They keep getting broken.
2K, 2D is unblockable at the moment, although finally Tatyana using the 50% for the deflect shield, and now trying to get a pile bunker loop started. No, not quite. Now we got it started. No, we're actually being a little swaggy with it. Hugdroid Mixteen. Yeah, there's the burst.
Yeah, goes in one low, and you know what? Just ends it up with the cheeky low yet again. Like that was a 3-act play right there. You show off in the like in the mix on there. Tatyana's like, I'm gonna go rise soon. Actually, it's a Greek tragedy more or less. At the very end, gets hit with the final low after using the burst. Very confident from Hugdroid Mixteen to make sure it's like, yeah, I can still win this round here. I'm gonna put you in the corner and make the damage work.
I mean, making sure that Slayer stays in the corner is definitely a good route to victory with how interesting Slayer's defensive options are. But Tatyana taking a little bit of a think is going to stick it out with the Slayer, actually switching some colors.
Okay.
And immediately into the slide to start things off.
All right, yeah, go ahead and change it out here, back and forth in here. You're going to definitely get that tried and true combo. More than a Potemkin's worth of damage right there alone on that. I like the backdash away. Doesn't get anything follow up, but we go in with a map a hunch to get back out in the corner.
A little bit of a scary situation there, but Tatyana confident with the charge dust. Doesn't kill, but that certainly will.
That could have been entirely regrettable if you did not get that final tag at the end there, but Tatyana was able to make it work there. I like the changeover that we're seeing and this new aggression that's being found.
Yeah, simple two-piece combo does mean that 30, or Hugdroid down to their last 30% of this life bar. Good YRC gets blocked. Tatyana forced to use the burst.
But we go in with the jumping heavy in there. Cancels out on there. You chose to go for the strike in there. Already jumping over the 2H from Tatyana here. Trying to find that one little hit, but we're just going to back away until we find that map behind.
Gold burst coming out now from Hugdroid. And a great chase down. Tatyana has to guess.
And unfortunately, you guessed incorrectly with that Garuda impact on the menu here. 1 round for each.
A little bit of a stare down there. Hugdroid Mixteen, though, does get the hard knockdown. Another 2K2D.
Interesting, we're going a lot for like strike options where you usually see a lot of Potemkin players go in for Garuda impact mix up on there afterwards. Maybe doesn't feel like they need to deal with it on here. Maybe just goes for the knockdown instead. Getting in there with the heat knuckle at the very end. Hugdroid taking number 2.
Tatyana, definitely the round start aggression has been working out for them. It's just a matter of closing out. Hugdroid Mixteen is really staying calm, cool, and collected. One thing that Tatyana is not really doing very well, though, is guarding the ankles. The 2K2Ds have really been what has gotten Hugdroid Mixteen into those, like, very, very good situations for them.
Yeah, definitely been worried about some of the other strike options in there. Maybe worried about the Potemkin Buster throw. Maybe trying to escape from a lot of those situations. But Hugdroid Mixteen just really honed in, locked in on that. Those ankles must be hurting and need urgent care immediately.
Well, while Slayer goes out to the hospital, looks like Bridget has been tagged in.
All right, get the yo-yo out. Yo-yo champion 2026. Bridget coming out here. Hotashi putting in a lot of good work in the bracket, using a mix between Nagoriyuki and Bridget on there afterwards here. Using it particularly in tools against Asoki with the Kai matchup here. Unfortunately, this is going to be a long way up that mountain because you just got to do so much damage against the Potemkin to win this 1 round alone.
Yeah, going to have to work through the high health pool of Potemkin, as you said, and now Tatyana. Good jump in. Really starting this tricky Bridget mix as things are. Cuts the close in early, uses YRC to maintain distance just for a moment.
Starting to see a little bit of the mix-up action here. Beautiful backdash away from the Potemkin Buster here. Enough time to get another setup in there, but we escape with the hammer fall, and now the Garuda impacts come out.
And the patch change. People still getting caught out by the change that move now does damage as opposed to just being a hard knockdown. Hugdroid Mixteen on match point.
Lighthead always a little bit cheeky at the very end there, just that sudden realization. Immediate, that round start, far heavy slash in there from Hugdroid in there, doing a lot of work as we go into Kickstart My Heart. The mix game continuing to Tatyana on this last potential chance.
That was a great backdash from Tatyana. Good awareness that the hammerfall was coming in. Another hammerfall. Armor does save Hugdroid Mixteen and gives them a corner opportunity, but Tatyana, great escape.
Okay, the Starship does get Tatyana out of the way here, and now we're trying to keep that distance. Uses the RC from Kickstart My Heart into the blue Wild Assault for another setup here. It's going to keep Hugdroid blocking all the way to the corner. Oh, had an anti-air opportunity and chose the backdash instead on the cancel out of the flick of the finger into the Potemkin Buster. Hugdroid is going to be taking that 3-0. Luck.
This is a battle of titans. FlashMetroid on the Queen Dizzy. Meanwhile, Test Your Luck on the tried and true Nagoriyuki.
So yeah, I was wondering earlier before this began, we saw FlashMetroid enter in the registration in there. Not sure who they were going to play because like back in the early days of Strive, they were playing a lot of Kai on there. Test Your Luck, no real surprise on the Nagoriyuki on there afterwards, but I think the Dizzy's a good look here.
I mean, yeah, if you can get Test Your Luck to go
maybe
into
not
that,
this round though.
well, if you can withstand the first couple of seconds of Test Your Luck's like initial onslaught and get him to like that precarious third block, like FlashMetroid should just be able to like start the zoning game plan and be relatively uncontested, but not like that. Not when Test Your Luck is taking a big bite out of your jugular.
Oh, not even like taking a bite, slicing and dicing, going to the Smoky Mountain Knife Works and the Beyblade store afterwards to get all those shiny tops at the very end. First one in amazingly quick matter goes to Test Your Luck.
Yeah, that's just showing not just like the power of Nagoriyuki, just like how how if you're not prepared for this, man, this is gonna be a quick set. FlashMetroid, though, gonna stick it out with the Queen Dizzy, if only for a moment. But hopefully we are... No, go ahead.
Oh, I do think like the Dizzy, like if you can really like keep away, like play that, Dizzy has a real chance to play the zoning game a little bit more than she had in recent patches here. Now we're getting started here, but gets denied early on thanks to the power of the burst and TestYourLuck.
Yeah, and that's another thing that TestYourLuck does have to do very aggressively is burst to try and maintain pressure. FlashMetroid putting down the disco floor rather. Oh, and TestYourLuck trying to go for another blood-sucking universe.
Bring out the fishies one more time. Doesn't get the follow-up with the 2H, unfortunately here. Going to give a chance of TestYourLuck in there. Using the White Wild Assault to finds nothing in the sights here. PRC meets up with TestYourLuck in the middle here.
And the Michael Sword going to catch TestYourLuck on the approach. FlashMetroid escaping just barely with that first round, but now TestYourLuck being aggressive again, but look at that blood gauge. Wait a minute!
Oh, the extension, like just on the tip edge of the hitbox on there from TestYourLuck. Goes in there with a tap dust on there, and I need to see that time counter on it because 84 seconds. That was a 15 to 16 second round, Squid.
Die fast or kill fast. That is definitely the game plan of Nagoriyuki and FlashMetroid trying to be on the winning side of that fast mentality. Another big counter hit, making sure that the disco floor is good to go. TestYourLuck finally pulling the trigger on the burst though.
These machine gun refreezes down on the ground here. Going to get like happen a lot of damage here. We're going the Imperial Ray. The follow-up in here doesn't go for the freeze this time. Going to get hit with a close slash in there from TestYourLuck here. That can be not it, but we're going to the chip, and oh, pop goes to Nagoriyuki.
Just a little too overzealous from TestYourLuck. I think he was trying to go for the kill or the kill off of the reset. Just FlashMetroid able to survive the reset, guaranteed that victory. But I mean, that is just showing how close this matchup can get.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of Dizzies go for the refreeze like in quick succession like that. Just wanting to go for the Oki thing. Like one, it was pushing TestYourLuck all the way back into the corner there, kind of keeping up, and also keeping it really slip and sliding because Nagoriyuki is a character that doesn't get it to really move a whole lot anyway. Has to use a lot of blood options just to make those approaches in there. So anything you could do to make it a little bit harder for that mobility goes a long way.
Right, well, FlashMetroid not doing themselves any favors, jumping back into the corner, and TestYourLuck now in that third blood block and gets another big bite. Not dead yet, though.
Yeah, the blood-sucking universe takes its mark on there, but the second hit of that DP gonna make the Mark 1 more take that round for TestYourLuck.
And blink and you miss it. TestYourLuck. Really just trying to... Maybe we're just playing to see how many matches we can play tonight with how fast this is going. Here we go. FlashMetroid setting up the dance floor. TestYourLuck, though. Maintaining a little bit of distance, but here we go.
Yeah, TestYourLuck's like, nah, I don't like this, I don't like that, but you know what? FlashMetroid wants to dance anyway. You're going to make sure that you get that mini game out of the way.
I thought for a moment the Blood Burst was actually going to save TestYourLuck, if only for a moment. Instead, FlashMetroid getting the better of that round, but here we go. Final round of this third game. FlashMetroid almost snipes TestYourLuck with the lava dart.
Okay, that's another way the floor can backfire on you. Using the Beyblade for an additional distance on there. Very interesting move in there from TestYourLuck.
Yeah, doesn't want to tip too quickly into that third block. Using the White Wild Assault as a movement option. It paying off. And getting that 2 on the side of their name. FlashMetroid gonna need 2 straight to take this game.
I need to... I've never thought about that, but like, yeah, with the Beyblade on the like, as you called it, Squid Pope, the dance floor. I love that, by the way. Being able to like kind of slip and slide all the way through there. I like that using like as an alternate mobility option for this big long frozen stage, this frozen lake.
TestYourLuck. Gonna try and take advantage of it. No, not quite. FlashMetroid able to get burst out of TestYourLuck very early on. We'll see, will this pay off? Again, making sure that the dance floor is ready to go and sending TestYourLuck through the wall.
All right, does get the freeze on there. Sub-Zero Shades one more time. Get the refreeze, roast some chestnuts. Keep Nagoriyuki warm for a little bit. Keep on surviving.
Metroid on the verge of Game 5. TestYourLuck taking a big bite out of Crime. The Beyblade getting a big counter hit. TestYourLuck, though, can't find the kill. Not yet.
I'll try to rev up the Michael sword. The Michael D sword did not get a chance. That perfect from TestYourLuck to finish it off here, set point.
Potential final round here. TestYourLuck already off to a good start. Both sides with burst. TestYourLuck taking a bite out of Crime. Another bite out of Crime.
I like that we're trying to bait out and see what the options are coming from FlashMetroid to hit buttons, and they're not finishing on the DP, the second hit. FlashMetroid was finally able to get out there, go ahead with the throw, enough time to set up the fishies and set up their own little strike throw mix up in there with the fishy versus throw. Here comes the gold burst from PYL though.
But the reversal super coming out for FlashMetroid, buying a little bit of space. But TestYourLuck finds the crosscut anti-air. That will be enough. TestYourLuck gets a big
the Potemkin.
Another
package.
Amazon Prime.
Oh, that's how it works. I didn't know.
Yeah, Vortix is probably going to be looking to end this matchup in the blink of an eye. Meanwhile, Connorlink is going to have to survive some very scary situations. We'll see what the round start is.
Yeah, right back at it. Going in for the far slash at beginning. A little bit of jump dust in here. We're just really trying to stop anything from approach in there. The slide head. Finally, with the hammer fall into the Garuda impact mix-up. And, you know, good old try-through. The follow-up Potemkin buster. You didn't need the middle part of that life bar at all here. You didn't need that backdash either. More Garuda, more the Garuda gods.
And, oh, Vortix probably could have killed there had they gone for the wall break. It doesn't matter, though. No harm, no foul. Taking the first round. Connorlink, though. And we'll see, can they play this zoning game that they probably need to?
Going in, more fishing into the Michael sword. Actually would have got the follow-up hit on there afterwards if Vortix did not burst on there afterwards, but here we go, trying it. Familiar into going in with the hammer fall. Again, we're trying to catch on the approach in there, but one more time into the Gigantor. Ooh, shades of Urian.
Yeah, Aegis Reflector is a hell of a thing. Connorlink staying alive, if only for a moment, but this definitely does not feel like a comfortable matchup for them. Vortix takes the first game.
So yeah, was not really able to get a whole lot started. We saw with anything like they were able to get the big hits, anything with a big counter hit, Vortix was just ready with the burst on plate, and there was keeping to that mid-range a lot with hammer fall and slide heads. Actually using slide head to a great degree to stop some of the startup from Connorlink.
I mean, another thing to keep in mind as well, Connorlink definitely seemed a little bit cagey with what buttons they wanted to throw out at what time. I mean, sometimes you just gotta see what sticks. But we shall see, can Connorlink regain composure? Can they get some momentum behind them? Off to a great start this second game.
He avoids it, but we got the freeze in place here. Just goes in for the fishy oki afterwards here. But we're getting away from the backdash thanks to from the Michael sword. The H1 though, not quite.
Here we go. Wings of Light has finally appeared. Can Connorlink keep Vortix down long enough in order for them to pop? This is so far so good. There they go. The nuclear rod has been dropped and Vortix melts away.
Oh, that was interesting too, because Vortix used a lot of faultless defense in there just to stop the blocking on there. Probably lost enough meter in there that maybe could have got away with the YRC and try to get rid of the Wings of Light that way. Maybe not been thinking about that option here. As we go in, we're rescuing some chestnuts in the corner, putting some ice on the table, and we're going to bring it down, continue the blocking with the 6H option.
Right, here we go. Wings of Light just about to pop. It pops just in time. Connorlink not getting greedy with the wall break. Instead, knows when they can press. And it's all tied up.
I love that there was just a moment of silence where you can only hear nothing but the wings of light dripping down on the wall there, and it was just like the biggest drop in a song there, just like waiting for it. That's when the dance party would have begun here, and here's where we continue. We have danced. Each partner has shown off their moves at least a little bit here, 1-to-1, as we move on into match number 3.
Taking just a little bit of extra time to find our two competitors. Strive, Earth might be spinning here.
Eagle might be lost. Eagle, where are you going? Where are you going? This match is over there. Eagle. Eagle. We're hearing lyrics. We're hearing vocals. We're not supposed to hear that.
Yeah, I think we're heading back to the lobby here for just a moment. Someone probably lost connection.
Okay.
It seems like both of them did. Oh, no.
Oh, we all lost connection. We all won there. Oh, well, you know how it goes with online brackets here. We enjoy the offline lifestyle for just a little bit, and we're going back. Well, it's good most of the time nowadays, thanks to rollback netcode. We things can happen, and that's okay. We'll be back pretty shortly with our two competitors here. Like Squid, you pointed out. Like, I'm so glad that we had a second Dizzy come up to the stage, showcasing the Wings of Light and showing some different setups in there, just for the comparison purpose on there. I did really like how FlashMetroid was trying to get this freeze Oki setup, kind of keep the ground going until TestYourLuck was able to really turn that around on them. But Connorlink has been putting the Wings of Light to great effect in that last match.
I mean, like I said in that previous match, it just might have been that FlashMetroid doesn't feel comfortable in trying to go for a Wings of Light setup, specifically against someone like Nagoriyuki. But as we get back into this matchup, though, I can see Connorlink very confident in trying to get a Wings of Light setup against Potemkin. We'll see, though, can Vortix reverse fate just a little bit, because that second game was definitely not in their favor.
All the jumping D, the Badonkadonk coming down from the sky. You gotta watch out for the Potemkin Eclipse in here. We're back in the Hammerfall into the quick PRC. Kara, Potemkin, Buster in there. A little bit of OTG just as a treat.
Connorlink very close to dying. How's another Kara Potemkin Buster for ya? Oh, I'm sorry, you passed out. Vortix takes that first round.
Can't, like, Potemkin's having all the fun here. And we go, but you know what, Connorlink, like, you know what, I'm revitalized. I slept really well. I got the Wings of Light still on me. You haven't got rid of weight. You're going to have to deal with it at a second here as we go into the armor point for the Potemkin Buster. That's a hell of a way to get rid of someone's wings.
Definitely a bold call out from Vortix. Connorlink could have just hung back a little bit longer and made sure that those wings popped, but Vortix now taking control of this round. Connorlink forced to give up the first, and we do have the freeze. Are we going to see another wing setup yet? No. Oh, there it goes, though.
Connorlink has been waiting for the 6H option in there to set up the Wings of Light just for the time period on there, but we got the heat tackle from across the stage in there. Vortix is going to be taking the lead here, but I really could see this going either way.
I mean, yeah, this definitely feels like we've got a Game 5 in the future. Will Vortix, though, defy the prediction? Connorlink, though, I mean, I feel like this is probably going to be Connorlink's game.
Well, only one way to find it. I do love that we're getting a lot more like back and forth happening in the latter portion here. One, gives us more time to see these matchups together on here, and more time for the players to see how it goes afterwards. Goes in with the Hammerfall early on here, but the Connorlink activates the Wings of Light. Burst makes it go away, though.
Vortix forced to use that burst aggressively, and now trying to close distance. Connorlink does have the fish set up. There's the Wings of Light, and now just trying to get this timer to tick down. Ah, it gets clipped, though.
Yeah, we're already gonna burst right back in. It doesn't want to deal with the second Garuda impact, but the McHale sword gets the clip on one more time there. Sending out the fishies like a Pokemon right back into it. The freeze goes away before the hit will confirm it though from Connor.
Momentum BRC does get Vortix out of the corner, but this is a very close round right now. Vortix gets the jump in, just no confirm.
Neutral jump into the slash on there. We're going to get that. Like, I like that, keeping the distance here against Potemkin. Oh no, because that's why. That is exactly why.
Connorlink down to their final round at the moment. Vortix looking like they are on the path to a 3-1 victory. Wait a minute though. Connorlink strips Vortix of the burst. Now the wings are getting ready to pop.
Oh, and count the backdash as well on here. Wings about to go spring it out there. Drain that Kool-Aid from Potemkin. Get the perfect on there. Still alive and still in it for Connorlink.
What a way to do it as well. Make sure that the kill is fast so that way Vortix does not build up that much burst. Vortix taking control of this early round. Catches Connorlink, neutral jumping.
That's very close in there. And you get the big counter hit, and the wall is going to break down. You know what? Use that overdrive. You got enough to immediately go for it. If you don't kill, you have to buy it. But yeah, okay, that's going to be it with the perfect Vortix, taking that 3-1 to you right now.
Pulverizer trying to catch Swagtron on the back foot with that early Totsugeki, but here we go. Swagtron already bringing Pulverizer to the corner, but good corner escape.
Instant air backdash into the jumping S, but we're already far ahead of that. Big damage in there from PulverizerX to get back into the corner. RC trying to maintain their turn, goes in. Unfortunately, if they had any other button in there, if they went for the 5H, that would have hit potentially on there, but had the far slash, which has a more horizontal pattern that Swagtron was able to take advantage of.
It's just this, oh man, these two just passing each other like ships in the night right now with some of these air dashes. PulverizerX though does find the hit, can't find the kill though, but the 5P does seal it up.
Well, I cannot believe that 6P hit beat out the Ozanson at the very end there. It was just like a couple of frames earlier than that. That was wild.
That was indeed wild, and now Pulverizer starting things off very good. There's the back throw. Now the regular throw.
Unfortunately, yeah, it was too high on that, so like the Dolphin did not hit. Try to like clean that up afterwards here, but make it rewarded with a little bit more damage here. We go into the gold burst right away here, but not even going to have a chance to use any of that precious energy because Pulverizer is working on a perfect.
A great perfect indeed. Pulverizer, first one on the board. Swagtron just probably needs to calm down a little bit. Obviously, things can get a little bit intense when you play in a bracket. Sometimes it helps you just take a little moment, take a couple of deep breaths, hit that rematch button. But we'll see, can Swagtron find their composure?
Duel 1.
We're going to find out right now. Back to the canyon we go. Immediate S-Dolphin gets sniped out with the far slash from Swagtron. But you know what? If at first you don't see Dolphin, and Dolphin again on there, we're getting over the disjoint from the 5H. Is definitely going to force out that burst from Swagtron.
Tommy Matt actually catching Pulverizer on the approach, but big throw from Pulverizer. Tries to sneak in the overhead, but Swagtron ready for it. But here we go. We're giving Swagtron as many hugs as we can, and Mr. Yamada going to not seal it up.
Japanese Guts kicks in yet again. It works both ways. It's not just May who gets it on there, but the trade with the far slash is going to finish the job.
Swagtron, good counter hit with Kabari, immediately forces Pulverizer to pull the trigger on the burst, and now just needs to get their game plan started. Pulverizer just free to take space right now with these Totsus.
all got away from the first close slash on there, but the follow-ups on there afterwards. The big counter hit for the 5H. It's this relentless pressure on here. Trying to keep it. Maybe didn't believe in the follow. Maybe thought it was going to be too low, but gets a 3K on there afterwards here. Guaranteed with the follow-up with 6H. Ends the job yet again on the side of PulverizerX.
And this just... I'm afraid to like call it as I see it right now. Maybe this is just matchup unfamiliarity on Swagtron's side. Like, we have just not been contesting these Totsugekis like in the way that I think that Baiken should be able to. But I mean, you know, only one way to find out, I guess. Swagtron readying back up, trying to avoid a sweep.
Yeah, you may be worried about like doing Kabari against Pulverizer, just because like you're going to bring out the rope, bring it a little bit closer to you, and have to deal with the potential May damage and the May loops on top of that. Even though you get tremendous reward on your own kind, we're seeing a little bit more of the 2H in there from Swagtron in there, getting the approach and a little bit of hits, but you still get denied. There's that parry.
Ooh. Yeah, definitely being underrepresented in this matchup is that parry. Finally, Swagtron showing it off, kind of trying to put it in Pulverizer's mind. Good attempt on the side swap Yozansen, but Pulverizer ready for it, and now this matchup looking a lot more closer.
Yeah, used a little bit more faultless defense on there. We're going to use the defense shield, which will hit on the 6K coming in for Pulverizer. Here's a chance that Swagtron has been looking for in there. Perfectly times on that combo and finishes it very steadily.
Now, big button to contest the round start, and this is definitely the start that Swagtron needs. Try and at least make this a match. They're going to use the super for the wall break.
Oh, I still love that overdrive, just the follow-up on there everywhere. And you're going to go ahead and break the wall. There's that Kabari. Finally applies it, but uses the burst to get away from the situation.
Big falling button does catch Pulverizer, not blocking high, and that should be it. So long as the combo does not drop, he actually spit our RC to make sure. I thought for a moment it was not going to kill, but thankfully that wall splat happening so late does mean that Swagtron at least puts one on the board.
Yo, Swagtron has hit the alarm clock finally, did not hit the snooze button this time around, is answering in kind, ready to start the day going, even though we're in the evening here at the Eastern time. You know, some people work a different shift on here. Swagtron, I like the changeover on here, but going to have to go a little bit further down the line to fight to win against PulverizerX.
Absolutely, and Pulverizer, I mean, has shown that they know how to play, how they can beat Swagtron. It is really, the onus is on Swagtron to try and change things up. So far, what they have done is working, but can they keep it up? So far, so good, though.
Yeah, a couple things that Pulverizer's been free just to hit buttons all day, every day, going in for the close slash, using the 5H on there. So using the parry in that last match was just kind of a little bit of a wake-up call to maybe stop Pulverizer from hitting so many of those buttons on there. And now we're controlling the game with the jumping slash in there, gets the follow-up on here, and we're blocking on there. We do get crouched on the low from the jumping beat into the overhand kiss, which is going to scale down, but you have to burst anyway to get out of the situation.
You're Pulverizer, you gotta count that as a win, even if you do end up losing this round. I don't think you're losing this round, though.
No, I think that, like, yeah, Yamada-san came to the parent-teacher conference and has got words to say.
What words have been said? Pulverizer now on match point. Swagtron trying to put up a valiant fight. Kabari is on. And it is still their turn, but Pulverizer now taking theirs.
Okay, jumped over on that. Just gonna give Swagtron an immediate chance to get into the corner. Bring out the gat, bring out the gun, blam blam bloom here. Another 1/3 chunk of that life bar is gone, and we're going to keep it going with the application of the rope and force the burst yet again. Turn it around, but did we get this? Are we blocking? No, we're hitting buttons.
You kind of wish that you had that burst back if you're PulverizerX. Now Swagtron burst advantage on their side here in just a moment. Going to hit that 50 mark first. playing the neutral game, if only for a moment. Pulverizer, though, does find the first hit, should be able to get this wall break.
Yeah, may not be worried about the burst gauge because, like, if you can get the damage gauge down below, oh, just join it. Buttons are your friend.
Good wherewithal from Pulverizer. He knows that they need to cut the combo short because burst was going to be a factor had it continued. And good bait as well! Pulverizer pulls it off. A good 3-1.
Oh, you didn't need to do all of that out there. You had the close slash. You had other follow-ups on there. You wanted to show off. Well, you want to show off themselves.
Dexor. This is a name that I do not recognize. It's going to be interesting to see what they do on the Giovanna.
Yeah, this is another thing about the ladder format that I like. Is like you often get matches that you may not see as often, or names that you don't see as often in tournament, in double elimination play. So that means I get more exposure to these players, you get more exposure to these players, and the players get more experience on the stream as well, too, on that, whether they like it or not at this point. But here we go, duel one. Let's begin.
Now getting caught on the side swap, Dexor with the 2 Ps, but here we go. We're trying to start the Slayer snowball, but Dexor immediately with the burst.
Just like that, we're going to hold out big 2H in there with a follow-up with a Mappa Hunch in there. Play a little bit of that Do-Si-Do and Promenade going into the setup. We're just going to go in with a little 2K. And the OTG, you know me, that damage is going to be the end of that first round for NhelvY.
NhelvY trying to catch Dexor early on with that 5K.
What?
Yeah, side swap, Master Hammer, counter hit. Always just so chunky.
Tries to go for it again. This time Dexor just waiting for it on there, but the Hand of Doom reaching out to crush Giovanna down back in there, but we're going to go ahead. Get the follow-up, get the side switch on there. This could be enough to break the wall on there. Uses the extra extension on there to power up the follow-up on there one more time.
Oh, side swap pile bunker does get bursted. Dexor, though, one touch away from dying, and NhelvY. Oh no, dropped the... Okay. You know that moment when you're like carrying a plate over and like you just feel it tip over for just
plate.
That's basically the equivalent of what happened there. Like NhelvY, like there was a twitch in NhelvY's wrist and he was able to catch himself in time.
That just in time. Food saved for a little bit, but that's hard. That's hard on that for sure.
That definitely could have been a disaster.
But we're not afraid. We're going to go right back into the thick of things here.
Mankind knew that they cannot. Duel 1. Let's rock.
A little bit of mutual respect given from both sides before immediately closing distance. NhelvY first one to blink on the burst, and now Dexor presenting a little bit of a strike throw game. You can see the end result. Another big hit going into the windstorm. Through the wall.
Yeah, the Travao making the follow-up on there. Very nice on there. We're going to cancel out with the RC. Just go into a tick throw situation in there. Shades of Season 1 Giovanna actually out there at the very end. Got the throw and the round.
NhelvY, though, presenting all-out aggression to start off this round. Dexor able to withstand it for a moment and present some aggression of their own. Gonna get an early wall break. Well, I say early. Half health already gone from NhelvY. Oh, Dexor almost ran into that Master's Hammer.
Oh, almost. But you know what? The 2D making its mark on there. But we got NhelvY catching the beginning of the air dash in there from Dexor. Gets the corner as a reward, and we're going to keep a plus with the overdrive from Dexor. But we're getting those knockdowns one more time into the Master Hammer yet again from NhelvY. Wow, what a trade.
It was that like 3 side swaps in the span of a second? Like
yeah, 100% there. I was trying to finish the thought in there, and it kept changing. Like the tempo keep changing. We are with the beat is going all over the place. We're a math rock song. That's what we are.
Man's listening to Polyphia while I'm just playing. No, should be able to seal it up from here. Does. It is a 2-0.
We got a couple of good hits in there from Dexor. We're seeing seeing it work on there. I do love that we are checking out from the approach in there, using 2D a little bit as the follow-up on there. Got a big counter hit as a result. We're trying to keep our turn in there. We're not afraid to spin meter at that point to kind of keep those plus frames on lock. But NhelvY just making it work with that damage.
I mean, Dexor seems very close to being able to take a game right now. It's just when you're up against Slayer, like sometimes it doesn't matter how close you are from taking that game. Slayer just looks at your plate and it's just like, I'm gonna take that now. You know that plate. Burrito? You know that burrito? That's actually my burrito.
Oh, is Slayer the person who door dashes and takes the order before? It's like, oh, that was my order. Slayer, that was mine. You don't get it. Oh, the counter hit into the map behind. We're gonna go set up and get the approach on there. The side switch one more time. Oh, this should be not it, actually.
No, unfortunately, just not enough. And no.
Oh, we are a disappearing act right now. That's what we are.
Sorry. That's certainly a way to end off that.
Oh yeah, no, you always gotta keep them guessing, especially when you got that damage on here. You're trying to see, like, can you block on both sides? No, the answer is no here, as we set point for NhelvY. We're gonna check it out one more time, map behind you, but we're gonna find it with the punish in there to get out the corner. Big counter hit opportunity for Dexor.
Yeah, just stakes out the limb, catches the hand of doom, and now Dexor, he needs to go for a reset, does get it, but the back throw incident, tries to go for a cheeky gold burst, but you're only living on so much borrowed time. Now that's Jackos of the online ladder. Round start counter hit for both sides. How about that?
I'll order in the court. Bring down the gavel.
We'll see Pikguy get this screen control established. I mean, so far so good, but there go the minions. KyokuReset stuck in the corner. We're putting the mask on. Now we're just kicking them around like soccer balls.
No one cared about the minions until they put on the mask on here, but we get that big counter hit. The burst coming out in there, and you know what? Doesn't even care. Waited for the delay on the shield in there to get the punish against Pikguy, and we are going all the way to the wall here. Bring down that follow-up. You got the laser fire away.
Not enough tension for the super to seal things out, but KyokuReset just pulls the trigger, gets the headshot on Pikguy, takes the first game. Or first round, rather, sorry.
Was this the Guilty Gear 2 version of the Holy Orders? Heck yeah, I love this version of the song here. We got the counter hit. Going to get big damage in here all the way. Force the burst away from Pikguy.
So far, so good from KyokuReset. Pikguy probably down to their last exchange, but we're starting to establish screen control.
I think Kyoku was intentioning that maybe Jacko was going to be a little bit closer on there with the RC, maybe trying to pick up in the aura on there afterwards, but was not to be. However, we're going to go ahead and get the confirm into what you said earlier, the Gun Dipper after that, and KyokuReset is going to take that very first match.
This is going to be an interesting match. KyokuReset, I mean, scratching and clawing a little bit in those rounds, but Pikguy, I mean, it felt like control just getting wrested away from them at one point. We'll see, can they recompose? Can they get that screen control that they really want? We're taking a moment to think. Probably looking at some notes. We're getting right back into things.
Yeah, the damage output that Unika's been able to get, like in there, from even a simple hit, goes quite a long way in there. And like anything that you hit on there, you got minions out on the screen. They're going to go away. Your Pikguy's not been able to get a whole lot started with even a single minion there, but now we have a little bit of a chance. Two of them coming out here. One of them going to get denied early on, but we're playing the sandwich yet again.
KyokuReset forced to the corner. Pikguy does find the hit, does not get the wall splat, at least only for a moment. Does so, gets the positive bonus.
Okay, gets in with a like 6P on there early on, enough time to throw it out. We're throwing up the blast in the mid-air, does get rid of at least the minions on there, but the big counter hit coming from Pikguy. All you need is a simple love tap to finish off that round.
What a great start. Now Pikguy looking to put one on the board. KyokuReset getting sandwiched, if only for a moment. The Baiken sword actually clears the way.
Call it out yet again. Counter hit into the side here. Here comes the minion. Getting smacked in the face with this jump dust into the RC. Got a little bit of a juggle as part of it here, but not a whole lot more.
Yeah, KyokuReset just looking for an opening. Might have just found it. Goes for the forward throw, and now establishing pressure. Gun Dipper does connect. But we need to find this wall splat. Pikguy, though, able to find an opening for the Elysian driver.
Yeah, was already in the midst of hitting that button and going a long way. You signed that contract a long time ago, and KyokuReset was like, Pikguy rather, was give the forever Elysian driver, going to bring down the mark on you.
One game apiece as we head into the third. No character swap on KyokuReset side.
Yeah, so we're kind of looking at, we're not getting a whole lot with the minions out of here, but like other than we're getting more approaches in there with the 2D. Well, we're using that 6P to really deny Unika from getting things started in the air. Kyoku's going to have to like start staying on the ground a little bit more, finding those time opportunities to give a gap before the approach.
Alright, but here we go. We finally have the super minion. KyokuReset, I don't think has been hit at all, but you can see all this chip damage that has resulted from this exchange before finally we escape the corner.
Nothing on the 2H. Good just blocking on there afterwards here. Going to get the cancel, get that side switch in there for Pikguy. Number one coming out to play. Power it up on the mask here. Help me out here. Bring out number two. That tap dust does get the confirm in there. The wire stick gets beat out because they are powered up at the moment.
Yeah, KyokuReset just, I mean, you had 50% tension to try and go for something. You probably could have tried it for a desperation Megadeth Buster in the middle of that. Unfortunately, dying with that option on the table. We'll see. Pikguy, though, good start to this round, but KyokuReset gets caught off of the overhead.
You also have access to, you know, your blast off in there, the meterless involt reversal, just in case you can find that gap in between. Right now, we don't need it though. We're trying to go in with the tick throw set up in here. Nice tech from Pikguy, but you're still stuck in the corner with these guard brushes on deck.
Maintaining pressure after the gun dipper, finding a hit, and now Pikguy taken to the air, but KyokuReset swatting them down.
Swatting them down and also just playing a little bit of basketball with the body of Jacko, right? Tied up in here, critical round. Who's going to take the lead?
So far, good start from Pikguy. Getting the corner pressure that they needed. The full charge dust. There is no burst for KyokuReset.
The most devastating time to not have a burst available. Now has enough for a potential Wildflower deflect shield if they need it in the case of emergencies here. But they may not even get a chance here because the pressure is immense. The RC to cancel out gets the final jumping. P into the confirmed low, and Pikguy is going to take that lead.
Definitely feels like as this match goes, Pikguy is just more and more comfortable with how they need to play. They haven't really been throwing out the minions, I feel, in the neutral, but rather saving them for the corner. KyokuReset, I mean, it might just be matchup unfamiliarity, but KyokuReset just struggling right now. We'll see, will that change? Or will Pikguy take it home? It is game 4.
Oh, we are pressing buttons on both sides here. Unika is going to win that trade as we go into the on the ground with the follow-up on here. using a little bit of that further range that Unika has access to get a whip punish against Pikguy and force the burst away.
KyokuReset getting stopped by the defense call as Pikguy very close to death. No burst in sight. Not even enough tension for a YRC. But wait a minute. All of a sudden, we do have life.
All of that from the anti-air just at the beginning here. Oh, you threw out the shields in there, but can you dodge lasers with that? The run-up throw from KyokuReset. No fear whatsoever in there. Just had enough to finish the job and still survive.
A little bit of a slow round start. Both players just trying to find their opening that they want. Pikguy, first one to find a significant hit. KyokuReset, though, goes for a back throw. Now we're back to mid-screen.
I like that. Big Pikguy's been going in for trying to delay that a little bit more. Kyoko's getting wise to that. Goes in for the throw on there afterwards here. Well rewarded for the trouble with the follow-up combo on there. Not enough to kill. We'll have to build up that meter slowly but surely, but that's going to come quick thanks to that positive bonus.
Oh, wait a minute! Hold on. KyokuReset trying to go for a throw. I think Pikguy was able to find a back throw first, but in the end, you can only buy so much time. KyokuReset brings us to Game 5.
I like the option in there from Kyoku, like going in there with the dash in just to try to set up that proper spacing for the throw in there. But Pikguy was wise to the situation in there with trying to get that throw. Kyoku still in it though. We got that round. It's 2-2 here. Where are we going to go with this? Let's find out together.
I mean, it's definitely a back and forth situation. Just as I think that one player does have the other one figured out, the other player does manage to do something or able to change things up just enough. Pikguy, first one to pull the trigger on the burst this time, but that's not necessarily meant the end of the round for them. KyokuReset, very aggressive on the burst though.
Kyoku has been using these follow-up options in here from Unika to a grand advantage and had enough damage to kill with the Mega Death Buster at the very end. After all this time, Kyoku is now on set point.
Catching Pikguy with blue laser. Now Pikguy stuck against the corner, able to get a counter hit to make your way out.
Catch with the 5H in there, but there's that reverse one there from the tippy top end of that hitbox for sure on here. The sandwich coming out to play. We making a Unika sandwich rather on there afterwards. The wire C to get out of the situation altogether.
Pikguy has 100 tension to work with. Uses 50 of it to get the air grab. Now KyokuReset stuck against the corner. Here comes the super minion. Able to bait out a throw, but it's not enough. Never mind. Pikguy finds the next hit, and we are on final game, final round.
There was a level of panic from Kyoku, wanted to get out of the situation so bad and got met with minion after minion here.
Both players keeping a healthy distance right now, although Pikguy able to get the better of the distance game so far. KyokuReset not going for a laser, not going for a fireball. And you can see the nickel and diming has actually meant that KyokuReset so low on life.
Pikguy has once again gone into the super minion on the setup here. Blocks on the first. Was far enough to get away on the punish on there afterwards here. Minion is out into play, so one more interaction is all you need here. Set it up. We're on the kickball team of Jacko and cancels out. Finds the button that Kyoku has been trying to go for time and time again. And Pikguy gets that punish to move on 3-2.
Oh, man.
We were down on the ground for a bit in that last match. It's time to go high into the skies here with Millia and Cliff as your guides.
Redtro already starting off very strong. Pezaeria, half health gone. Stuck against the corner. Not even looking at burst at the moment.
Check like a little bit of delay, goes ahead and breaks the wall. Bonsai Redtro is going to take that very first round.
Oh.
A little too early on that throw, like on here, so we're going to get enough time for Redtro to get back on the tightrope, force the burst on that big counter hit on there. That's kind of when you want to do it here, because you're going to have to avoid that damage afterwards.
Pezaeria getting a little too overzealous, getting clipped by the DP of Chipp there to start off that exchange, but here we are. Pezaeria had an opportunity to try and even up the light bars, but Redtro just seems unstoppable at the moment.
Just a little bit here. RC on there, the YRC. I need you to maintain that distance a little bit, but you know what? We are not afraid. We're just going to go ahead with that damage, get the crumple at the very end. Redtro taking the first match.
Something else we should point out as well, a battle of two very brittle characters. So this one is going to be quick one way or another. Redtro, though, does seem very collected.
Yeah, one way or another. We're going to get to the next match here. Immediate use of the tightrope on there. A little alpha blade. Just we're trying to get the ball with the 2D, but nothing for here. Redtro is going to get the punish and finds a mark in there with the throw.
Blocked by Pezaeria on the overhead option using the Artemis, and now dragging Redtro all the way to the other side of the screen. Great challenge though by Redtro. Pezaeria forced to use burst, but Redtro re-closing distance, if only for a moment. But Pezaeria, this is just a mad dash for both of these players.
Oh, you know that the Millia player wants to get out, wants to fly high in those skies. Redtro went in there, got the counter hit on the neutral jump on there, was maintained. Like, you stay in that corner. I need you to just stay still for a little bit. You're all hopped up on sugar and caffeine, Millia.
Green means go for both of these players. And Redtro definitely finding the go button right there. Big counter hit, gets the wall splat. Not low enough for, I think, the super wall break, but I don't think it's going to end up mattering. No, Pezaeria builds burst and immediately spins it, but it only gives them a little bit of time before Redtro seals up the game with a perfect and takes a 2-0 lead.
All green may mean go for both players here, but one green is a shade of money for Redtro right now. Has been getting the work. The profits have been all on their side. We're not hesitating though. We're going to go right back into it. We got to get back to the stock market right now. We got to earn that victory.
We'll see, can Pezaeria put a game on the board, or is Redtro going to walk away with a clean sweep? So far though, tough to tell really who's going to be who's winning this first round. I mean, it's clearly Redtro at the moment, but that can change in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, we saw some amazing work at Frosty with Walter on the Millia on there, making it all the way on the winner's side, like at the end there. So like, definitely go back and watch that if you haven't yet, all the way through there. But in the meantime though, Pezaeria having to be stuck in the corner here, dealing with this the tightrope and everything in between.
Oh my god, using the RC to stay in the air just a little bit for the overhead hit. And now Pezaeria, this is your last life. You gotta make it count. Redtro on match point, but no burst in sight for them as Pezaeria starts off with a very clean hit.
Yeah, using the optimal combo route there. Doesn't want to use any of the Wild Assault or Deflect Shield on there afterwards here. We're going to get that back definitely after this combo. Goes right back into it and uses the burst immediately. A lot of resources in play, and I'm going to use even more of that just to take their back return with that close slash.
I'm going to go for a reset. Pezaeria, no, gets caught out. And now all of a sudden, Redtro wresting control of this match. But getting caught by the back wall.
OTG goes in for the turbo fall. Cheeky setup. Artemis coming out. That chicken wing brings down a delicious meal for Pezaeria to keep alive.
Stay alive, but for how long? I mean, you're working without burst, if only for a moment before you hit that 50%. Meanwhile, Redtro ready to break out at any moment, just choosing not to, not yet.
Hold on. turbo falls are happening on the screen, and they're working out. Like Redtro has been not hit any of those at this point here. Right now though, the turnaround is fair play. They're going to tie up the count of the life bars.
Burst is going to be available for Pezaeria in just a moment. Burst available on both sides now. Pezaeria using Septum Voices, making it unburstable. Finally gets a game on the board.
Burns like a buzzsaw blade and still in it here. Oh, this is a good. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it right now. We figured something out.
Both players readying back up. I mean, if you're Pezaeria, you definitely feel like you've escaped with your life. Redtro definitely seemed to have your number, but making him bleed, or making them bleed rather, is very important to believing that you can take this match.
Run up, throw in there, enough for the Alpha Blade into the air dash on there afterwards here, but Pezaeria is left there waiting with the tuft of hair. Let's go over with the Mizra to the other side here, but now Redtro want to take back their turn.
Oh, the overhead option from the Rekka catching Pezaeria off guard, forcing them to use the burst, and now we're back on mid-screen. The big stop sign catches Redtro in mid-air. We just can't convert into a good combo, so we have to go for a reset instead.
The timing on that 6P just to wait for Redtro to get onto the other side was nice, but was all for naught at the end there because Redtro was able to get the confirmed Alpha Blade out of the way there and get back into set point down.
Pezaeria gonna have burst here in just a little bit, but Redtro finally unleashing the leaf grab, an option they have not used at all this match. And now Redtro using the super wall break. It's not going to be enough to kill, not just yet. Pezaeria will have a shot at life with this burst. Ooh, but it's not going to be able to use it. Redtro, a perfect 3-1.
Yeah,
5 coming up to the plate right now. Sin versus the Gorilla Man, Leo Whitefang.
You know, I've seen the color before, but I do like the purple Sin with the flag on there. It looks very nice on there afterwards. But we're going to go right into the thick of things here. We're going to continue with the beak driver. Yeah, you're going to go ahead and break that wall here. Get a little bit of extra damage with the RC, because you're going to get a lot of that meter back as soon as you get onto the other side.
You can never count out Leo Whitefang. The man is capable of committing robbery, as we almost saw right there. PlutoJr just saved by the burst and should be able to close this out. If Larry Man does not burst, looks like they're going to be saving it.
Yeah, we were playing a little bit of leapfrog in there, just bouncing over each other, trying to find that right opportunity in there. It happened to be PlutoJr with the timer barrel at the very end here. An immediate burst in there coming from Larry Man, just to take advantage and get back into the corner.
As the curtain falls, Larry Man does enter back turn stance, able to maximize that damage thanks to super. Oh, good backdash from PlutoJr.
Yeah, gets away from the 6P from Larry, but not for very much longer here. Another overdrive for the table. Not going to be enough to kill. The guts is sticking to the stomach, but not the tap dust ever. That's a bad stomach ache after.
Big old punch right to the gut to end things off for Larry Man. And as we enter this third round, Larry Man does not look like they're playing scared, even though they're down burst. Now they're actually up burst thanks to PlutoJr's early trigger pull.
Holds down a lot of beak drivers coming out of here. We're back into neutral, but we called out. RTL at least get away from it, but no one gets caught up. We are chasing down back turnstile. We are a Blues Brothers sketch right now.
Someone nerf Leo. Holy crap. I cannot believe that is how that interaction goes. Jesus Christ.
Beautiful on there. And like imagine if Pluto had like the meters also following that up on there afterwards. I need to go back and check because that could have been incredibly funny.
That would have been so hilarious. Thankfully, PlutoJr able to buy a little bit of time with that Hawkbaker, but Larry Man gets the back throw and gets the win. Up 1 game.
Okay. Shenanigans is the word of the day right now. Shenanigans.
That was... let's call it what it was, Risky. That was just pure robbery. That was...
we got it so far here. Yeah, PlutoJr was getting a couple of those big hits here. We're doing like a lot of the follow-ups from Beak Driver and like into the Gazelle step on there, but we are returning back on the Inferno. The Leo's own theme music coming into play. Gets in with an early start with the confirm into the Flash Sword.
Early burst for PlutoJr only buys them a little bit of breathing room as once again the DP gets baited. Larryman though setting up with the heavy boom.
Yeah, interesting that we didn't see a bigger punish on there. Just happy to go like, I'm going to keep you in the corner, go in for the reset, potentially get the finish off here, and it's going to pay for the trouble. Misses on the Tyrant Barrel, it looked like in there, so not going to get the full confirm in there. Trying to go in with the close slash and get denied by Larryman.
Hawkbaker does save PlutoJr, if only for a moment, as there's a flash kick from Larryman, and the 5P seals it up as PlutoJr trying to escape the corner.
Big counter hit on there. Not enough time to put on the guard sword yet again, but we are here back in it. Oh, the jumping slash makes its mark in there from by PlutoJr. Here comes Tyrant Barrel.
Big damage on PlutoJr's side, and that won't be enough to kill, I think, because of the deterioration. Just barely. Oh, wait.
Not even a perfect could have stopped that here, man. Larry has something to say on that instant air dash on the follow-up on here. Not enough to get in there with the 50% overdrive on there, but you know what? A pretty respectable chunk of red happened.
Larryman trying to commit another robbery here, able to get a big hit. Life bar's just about even. Larryman gets the air throw. The OTG is not enough. RTL comes out from PlutoJr, but the flash kick beats it. Are you kidding me?
My jaw is. Hold on. I need to go down. I need to pick it up. Hold on. Give you 1 second. There. It's back up. Okay. What? Like for one, like the air, like I'm wondering what OTG option could have been done on there, if anything at all, just to finish off. It was on that last bar, but the timing, the gap, the ready for it at the very end, just to throw it out, the cojones on Larryman.
I was just informed that there was an APB for Larryman right there for that absolute brazen robbery.
All right, going in one more time here. We're going to tie it up with the like back into the corner, trying to get that revenge by PlutoJr.
Larryman just playing without any fear. That is kind of how you do have to play Leo Whitefang, especially with his back turn stance. Able to bait out Hawkbaker.
Oh, into the Gazelle step on there. Enough time to get back into neutral. Hawkbaker has been getting mostly blocked or avoided by Larryman on here, so it's not been the great option that you have here. This time around, Iron Barrel should be more than enough on here. Go ahead with the extra damage from the break wall there. Not even Guts can save you now to survive here on the side.
All right, Larryman though, already in that dangerous back turn stance. Able to already get that wall. PlutoJr bleeding heavily in this round. Burst is just about to come back for both sides. Larryman, first one to get it, though, uses the RC, continuing the juggle, actually getting the favorable wall bounce, just does not have the tension to kill, though.
Oh, no, but going to have a 50% now. The confirm in there. You're going to go ahead and spend a little bit of stamina to get back on it. You know what? We liked it better on the other side. Let's check it out. Let's stay a little bit longer.
Larryman able to close things out now as we head to our final round of potentially this game. Already entering that back turn stance is Larryman, and that is where Larryman has made most of this lead tonight.
Able to go ahead and follow up on the knee here. Going to guarantee the wall. break it down in style. Positive bonus in here. Has the burst on meter. Going to have the super on deck. There goes the burst though. 50%. You're going to go ahead and get the confirm. If you don't drop this, this is enough. The PRC is going to absolutely guarantee it for the 3-0 for Larry Man. 5-5-5.
Glued into it earlier in the night.
Yeah, we got Lasagna Slayer with the Sword of Lumiere, the Charlotta reference on there afterwards here. Maybe a sign of things to come here, but right now, Hugdroid, as we began our ladder earlier today, so it's going to end with the Potemkin. Quick push away with the deflect shield, back into the corner we go.
By the way, that was a sick flip from Hugdroid Mixteen. I didn't even see him prepare it. Somehow able to flick away a stinger shot. Life bar is just about even though for both sides. Hugdroid Mixteen though, down on burst.
Well, the Mega Fists coming out there. Denial, the instant air dash from the Lasagna Slayer. You're not going to go anywhere right now.
Yeah, Lasagna Slayer trying to create a little bit of space. Unfortunately, gets tackled by Hugdroid.
Oh no, more than a hug now. They're like just extremely up close and personal. Time for the Garuda impact. Hold up, trying to keep against Cena. What a button goes in. Knocked down into the setup yet again.
First gets blocked, and that should be all that she wrote. Hugdroid with the perfect. Takes the first game.
Yeah, so this is a Hugdroid we saw earlier was very good at really pinpointing weaknesses against the. No wait, I'm misremembering our Potemkins on there, but had a good strong turnout on there. Regardless, we're not going to stop with that though. We're going right back in. Lasagna Slayer not taking it without a fight.
Definitely not.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Even though we're not on the Goldlewis, the birthday train continues. I see how it is. I see how it is.
Oh wow. Hugdroid Mixteen with the gold burst. Lasagna Slayer trapped in the corner right now. Finally pulled the trigger on their own burst. And this is looking like Hugdroid Mixteen's match right now.
You don't need much else after that. Just jump in, get the air-to-air knockdown on there, get a perfect.
Good corner escape from Lasagna Slayer, and now should be able to start this snowball rolling. Hugdroid Mixteen.
Starting to see more of the cue balls coming out into play here. A lot of in the air, using the follow-up with the jumping D in there. Enough time to set up the balls one more time. Potemkin corner pocket with the follow-up on here. Has 100 meter to work with all, and Darkness will descend right now. The Dark Angel is going to get the confirm. Robokai with the assist on there. Put it on the basketball card.
And Lasagna Slayer run-up button does catch Hugdroid Mixteen. Trying to go for something. Oh, as we're getting a little bit of a slideshow.
Okay, we're backing away here. We're something is suspect with the network, but we might be okay. We might be running back in here. Immediate use of the Mega Fist to right home.
With button into Potbuster. Man, I can't escape it.
No one can escape the Garuda impact. I'm having to face it right now, but we're getting. Oh, what is happening here? Oh no, the frames.
Help! Are we all good?
I think we're good. I think we're playing it through to get the flick out afterwards.
Lasagna Slayer forced to give up first, and now Dark Angel hopefully to try and start that snowball back into your favor. Hugdroid Mixteen trying to go for something tricky, unfortunately, is just going to get sent through the wall. Now this positive.
I gotta say, I'm not sure what the idea was with that, with the slide head on the Dark Angel on there afterwards here, but we're going in. Jumping does. Gotta get the follow up here, set up the ball one more time. No use for the grab afterwards, but the trade with the throw of the balls here. The beautiful flick from out of nowhere into the heat tackle. Took that away.
And Hugdroid Mixteen, the intercontinental ballistic missile, shooting down Lasagna Slayer. The comeback almost happening for Slayer, but instead it is a 2-0 lead for Mixteen. And I imagine that we're going to be finishing off with Goldlewis. Yeah, Hugdroid wants Goldlewis. Oh, there it is!
Oh, even in the chat going, let's see the coffin. And of course, the coffin comes. The question will be whether Hugdroid Mixteen can even fit in it after Lasagna Slayer is done, or if Hugdroid is like, no, it's time for you to get in there.
Good old-fashioned coffin match.
Oh, I love old WWE. Oh, no! Wow, wow. Oh,
yeah.
Will, wow.
Wow. Oh. I'm not sure if that was intentional from Hugdroid Mixteen. I think probably wanted to maybe show off a little bit before breaking the wall, but instead Lasagna Slayer given a second lease on life, rather. No burst spent. Meanwhile, Hugdroid Mixteen bleeding heavily.
Gotta make sure the floor is clean and the walls are broken. Sweeping up that coffin to tie up on here, but we're gonna burn it down on there. Using a wise move with the deflect shield at the very end to push away for any setup that Lasagna Slayer would have.
Gotta make something happen right now. Lasagna Slayer levels 3 security gauge, just unloads the gat and depletes that tension on Hugdroid's side. Again, we're playing the neutral game. Neither player wants to overcommit.
Skyfish level 3 pushes all the way back there. Always good as like chip damage option too, or just wasting away the meter. But we're gonna burn it down one more time. Satellite assistance is in the menu, and we're just gonna go ahead and bring it down.
Lasagna Slayer on the board. I mean, you're up against Potemkin. You're up against a very big damage character. A Wild Assault actually got interrupted.
Given the... Oh yeah, armor point into the RC on here. You're gonna play a bit of paddle ball right now. Isn't enough to kill rather on there. The gut is going to kick in. Hugdroid still has the burst on the deck, but no grab afterwards.
Not close enough for the Potemkin Buster, and yeah, this seems to be curtains here. The laser eats Hugdroid alive. Lasagna Slayer on the board.
Yeah, try to go in with the hammer fall to avoid the laser for a little bit. The hearts are not on fire, though. It is actually just Potemkin that is on fire at the very end. Lasagna Slayer kind of extending the ladder bracket a little bit more in this set, I'm seeing.
I mean, at this point, our ladder is officially over. No more extra matches can be played, so everyone's just trying to finish out where they can.
Right. Oh, and Atticus Cassia, oh, apologize if I messed up on the name there, rating with a party of 21. Thank you so very much here. You're just in time for the last match of this open ladder before we get to top 8. And right now, it is definitely a banger.
And a big $25 contribution from Kensei. Thank you so much.
Heck yeah. Love to see it on there afterwards. They're going to give a little bit more money to the players to help pay it out. Enjoy this fine damage and bracket and players that we're seeing right now.
Skyfish again, the call for Lasagna Slayer, just trying to deplete this tension meter as Hugdroid Mixteen just alive for, if only for a moment.
Raiding party coming in, cheering on Hugdroid with the idle flashes and everything on there, but it is going to be the flashes of the coffin we're seeing off the side of Potemkin. Mega Fist into the heat tackle. We're going to get a little bit of room in here back in the neutral.
A little bit of neutral being played. We're bringing down the Hammer of Dawn. Oh, man, but the coffin catching Hugdroid Mixteen, trying to go for an option. Here we go. This definitely looks like Hugdroid Mixteen's round as Burst does get blocked. Lasagna Slayer trying to end things right now.
Oh, I wonder if it was like realizing that it was maybe not enough to kill at the very end with a Mega Fist or trying to do something else. Did get the round in the end, though. That's what you need. Set point here. Lasagna Slayer not taking it lying down in the slightest.
Yeah, but being down that first resource is massive in a matchup like this. Level 3, Thunderbird does get deployed, but it actually gets dissipated because Lasagna Slayer got hit.
It's really hard to deal with it. That's why we haven't seen a lot of the Thunderbird here so far against Potemkin. Hugdroid has been doing a very good job of flicking both like Lasagna Slayer's Venom and the Goldlewis afterwards here, but now have to deal with the guard crush on there, sweeping the side of the face.
Go, normal throw for Lasagna Slayer. Hugdroid Mixteen slowly getting chipped away by these behemoth typhoons. We don't have any tension, but thankfully the armor points does save lives right here, and that will be it. Hugdroid wins our final match of the splatter.
The side switch on that, on the hammer fall into the heat knuckle at
These two.
no, Deafheaven on the axle. Connorlink we saw earlier also on the Dizzy had some really good setups with the Wings of Light on there. And Deafheaven, our first axle of the evening. I recall the last time I was on ParagOnline, we had 3 or 4 axles in a row. So this is a different change on here afterwards. A battle of the the zoners and sideways. Both players can scrapple in there a little bit further in, but like Connor, I'm going to be curious to see who's going to get this first blow and really begin their setups as we go right now on the trade.
Dance floor does get blown up by Deafheaven to start things off, and half health already taken off of Connorlink as Wings of Light is getting prepped right now. Deafheaven on the back foot.
Finally, you just go ahead, use the burst on there afterwards here. Fishies are coming out to play. The chestnuts may be roasting over an open fire, but it is Dexor with the throw at the very end there. Another 6H into the wall we go. Not enough to kill, but damn near close.
Deafheaven gonna have to really dig deep in order to win this first round. Can't quite dig deep enough. Connorlink gets the first round on the board.
Okay, the column of ice coming out to play. A lot of use of the far slash on here afterwards here. Baiting of the mix on there with the fish into the throw. Enough time for the Wings of Light to come out to play and back into a familiar situation with the Mikhail sword.
Deafheaven does dissipate Wings of Light with that counter hit, and now taking on offensive posture. Axle Bomber to send Connorlink back to the other side of the screen, but immediately recloses distance, finds the opening, gets the kill.
Yeah, fast BRC down in there to get the confirm. You just need a little OTG damage at the very end to take a round for yourself here. Already an exciting match to start things off.
Deafheaven already presenting new options right away. We saw that Desert Storm come out, if only for a moment. Connorlink just looking for an opening. The dance floor really isn't your friend in this matchup, I don't think, which is why Connorlink hasn't been trying to go for a setup featuring it at all. Deafheaven seems calm, cool, and collected.
The Wings up, yeah, get the confirm in there with the slight hit, got the full confirm afterwards in here, just need that one Resengeki at the end there to take the lead, to take the #1 for Deafheaven.
Deafheaven probably has played this matchup a ton. Connorlink, gonna be very interesting to see what the adaptation is. Connorlink taking a moment.
Okay,
He's back up.
Yep, understandable. Just taking that very brief moment in there to go, Ben, as the Eagle flies back to our next location right now. Let's go. Really chesting out the waters. 5P in there from Deafheaven, but we're going to get hit with the chestnuts into a little ice column. Not going into the dance floor just yet here. We're just holding it down, waiting for it to see if we can freeze Axel into place first.
I really don't think that Connorlink is going to go for the dance floor at all, just because Axel can perform or can still fight at full screen. And
Right.
we can really see that Deafheaven is very confident in this matchup. The time stop super from so far away off of a stray hit, and Connorlink is bleeding very heavily.
Check it out with the chestnuts. One thing, there's the burst coming to play, but the going in with the Winter Madness, you got the follow-ups to go with it. Time is stopped. Time is just an illusion for everyone else but Axel.
Connorlink forced to use burst to try and stay in this round, but the 2K will be enough. Deafheaven, very confident, very comfortable in this matchup.
He gets the follow-up on there afterwards here. Oh, the side switch on the fish being sent out here. Enough time for the wings to light in there. Everybody out on the dance floor. Dizzy is your dance commander. One more time. This time we get the full Mr. Freeze effect. Perfect for Connorlink.
What a round win for Connor as well, able to get the Wings of Light pop to lead to victory. That may just be your one route as Deafheaven already taking half health from Connor. Oh, but a big counter hit for Connor. Wait a minute.
Big, beautiful 6P on there. And go ahead to follow up with the Mateo sword on there afterwards. But we, and that's another thing, like you pointed out earlier, Squid, like got the freeze on the floor. Deafheaven was able to get that punish on there, and Dizzy was the one who got the hit on the freeze.
Big anti-air button from Deafheaven, and the double Axel Bomber will seal it up. Deafheaven a 2-0 lead. Connor, ball's in your court. What can you do?
That's a good question here. We're seeing a little bit of getting started up into the mix-up game. It has been doing to pretty good effect in there. Once we're seeing a lot of the calm in there. We're setting up when we set up the Wings of Light, we have that as a potential in there, but we have not been able to fire it off. Deafheaven's been able to either get a hit or use burst or make it go away, which is incredibly important in this matchup as time keeps slipping away.
Deafheaven. I mean, what can you do against the guy if you're Connorlink right now? It seems like he is just reading you like a book. Half health already taken off of Connorlink. Meanwhile, the Lavazar does swat Deafheaven out, if only for a moment. You've got Wings of Light. You just got to survive a little bit in order to get the pop.
Okay, it's about to pop right now on the block. There it is. It's a little bit of life, but just as we speak on there, the 2P comes out for Deafheaven and was able to get away from the situation. Govs jumps in with the jumping heavy into the follow-up in there. That's going to be set point for Deaf.
Connorlink now going to have to be flawless in order to bring it back from the brink. You do have Wings of Light already set off to go early on, but the counter hit does dissipate it, but it's a favorable counter hit for Connorlink as Deafheaven trapped against the corner.
Deafheaven's not letting go of that burst anytime soon here. Connorlink happy to go in there for the throw. Another 6H in the follow-up on here afterwards here. Or a foul dot pop if you get a chance here. Get a little bit of the follow-up on there afterwards, and Connorlink makes it happen with the round count still surviving.
Thought that Deafheaven was for sure going to let that burst rip in order to save some life from that Wings of Light. Actually, not having the opportunity probably is saving his life more right now for this potential final round as Connorlink getting caught in the combo. The time stop does connect.
No tension, but plenty of burst, and you may not even need it because Axel Bomber is going to hit the second one, going to do the damage, and including with the wall on there, say goodbye to Dizzy, going clear onto the other side. Yeah, we saw Kensei a little bit earlier, and then I believe both of these players are no stranger to top 8, in fact, on here. So, going to go see what Kensei can do against NhelvY right here. We got ourselves get rid of the sword from her, but we got the 6P, get the denial, and the jump slash coming in for Kensei is going to begin the whole Swiss Army knife routine that High Kiss has in store.
More than half health taken off of NhelvY's side as Kensei unfortunately getting caught out by the approach. NhelvY going to probably invest these swords into the wall break. Yes, we are.
Stun Dipper, you have all the meter in the world to spin on that. You're going to go it off with style on there afterwards here. Going to go ahead, use the Dragon Install to break down the wall and get the extra positive stats on top of that.
We called it earlier in the night. Kensei so strong with Dragon Install, and you can see the end result. Not a loss like you would normally see with other Kais, but putting that big W right beside him for that first round. Round 2, Kensei already down burst though.
And if anyone can challenge those the far slash in there from Kensei, from Kai on there, it is definitely a Ramothaw in here. Lei, she's able to get all the way through, back onto the other side. Familiar setup in here. A lot of just blocking in there from Kensei, but what good is it going to do? Oh! Actually drops out of it and goes right into the Vapor Thrust for Kensei.
Definitely a fortunate situation for Kensei. Going to take advantage, get that positive bonus. Lei does have burst to work with, as well as 100 tension, goes low, and Kensei is going to try and take this round, invest burst into it pretty late, does get the hit.
Oh, you have to block all the way. You have the static shock on you, and you only have one blade. You got to hurry back for it. The backdash at just in the nick of time here. We are 2 ships in the night as we get back into the corner here, but you know, the Foudra arc always meets the face of the opponent. At least it feels like whenever I fight against Kai, personally.
A little bit of a scrambly situation there at the very end. Kensei able to get the better of it, but Lei could have just as easily brought it to round 3. We'll see, can we stay composed? Can we tie things up 1-1, or is Kensei going to take a 2-0 lead to kick off our second game of losers?
Let's rock.
You know me, Squid. I want to see us go as many matches as possible here. I want to see some good kills here, especially after Frosty Faustings. I'm jonesing for more of that gameplay. ParagOnline giving it to all of us tonight.
No doubt, and Kensei, you know, while everybody else was at Frosty Faustings, Kensei was studying the blade. As it turns out, Lei very low on life. Kensei, like a scalpel, is going to take their life.
Just Kai going like nurse, hand me my Vapor Thrust, please. Iron Elbow into the Foudra arc, and they're going to like really deny Ramothaw getting out of the corner. But Lei managed to get in there with the instant air dash away, changing things around here. But the Stun Dipper confirmed you have the meter. Of course, Kai has the meter to work with here. Going to get the reset back into the left-hand corner.
Lei just getting back that sword, but is going to be unable to use it, being sent through the wall. We do have burst to work with, but just as I say that, the air fireball does connect. Kensei a 2-0 lead, and Lei going to need to start the reverse sweep.
Oh, Squid, I think you're a little bit prescient on this. This is like you were calling it out with Kensei, like kind of starting to pull things away here, 2-0 now, and that was an insanely quick match.
I mean, Kensei is just that kind of dude. Like, I watched him yesterday with another tournament. He definitely was in the pocket throughout most of the night. Ended up getting third in that one. We'll see, can he do at least one better tonight? Is going to have to go through hell in order to do it. But first step, Pat is going to be taking down Lei, and he's already off to a good start with a 2-0.
All right, east side corner rather on there. I know how to read a map on there. We're going to go with the Sacred Edge. Immediate use of the Stun Dipper, forcing the denial and forcing the burst away from Lei.
Burst off the table for both sides. Good anti-air 5P from Kensei. Lei stuck against the corner. Getting sent to the wall.
We're getting closer to that. Oh, try to go in with the low in there from Lei, and was already in there. It goes in with the jumping slash, gets a knockdown set point for Kensei.
Fireballs are finding their mark and applying that shock state. Brave from Lei to go for a back throw there, but it works out. And now Kensei trapped against the corner. A couple of counter hits, though, does free him from that hell.
Okay, question is, when that burst Chekhov's first, when is it going to be shown off on here? The PRC trying to maintain this pressure a little bit, but the iron elbow of Kai Keith going to go in with a stun dipper one more time, trying to go over the dust. There's the burst.
Blue burst from Lei, though, and cannot be touched from this point on, otherwise Lei is going to lose. A big forward throw. There's Dwayne The Rock Johnson from the back. Kensei sent through the wall, not dead yet.
Oh, you got the swords right back on it, forcing Kensei from it. PRC get away, gets under the sword, he just goes in for the throw. That is going to be enough for Lei to continue surviving.
What a clutch out from Lei. So close to death, but staying calm, cool, and collected, able to get the wall break for that positive bonus, and we can see the end result after that win. So close to getting burst, but Kensei making Lei hemorrhage right now.
All the blood is coming up. We need that blood for donation. You don't want to keep at least some of it inside you, and Lei is definitely going to afterwards just go right into the Motabatu. Goodbye to half that life bar immediately.
A gold burst now from Lei, but Kensei getting caught out, using Morobato, making it unburstable. Kensei will have a shot. Go for a gold burst of his own, gets it. Now positive bonus on his side. He gets the far up anti-air.
In the near future. In the meantime, though, we have ourselves a Faust versus Venom matchup here. LhelvY versus Joe Brownie. Here we go.
Joe Brownie opting to start off with the Venom. Very interesting. LhelvY was on a tear in last night's tournament, playing 11 matches and getting Grand Finals reset in order to win. So the man has definitely been on a tear in the last 24 hours. Can he do it again? We'll see here in just a moment. Joe Brownie trying to equalize after losing the early round.
Joe Brownie setting up the fuel balls, has a whole billiards club out there in the arena afterwards. Jumping to the other side into the JD on there, going to force LhelvY to get the burst away.
LhelvY with the scalpel dive kick does get a counter hit, unfortunately unable to link it. Joe Brownie just sending these pool balls, seeing what sticks. LhelvY very low on life. The anti-air will close it out for Joe Brownie.
Okay, love to see that 6P at the very end there just to really use that. It's a good button, regardless of which character you're playing. It's going to be a good button, but it feels like Venom's in particular is on the upper echelon alongside of one of my favorite 6P's Testaments.
Joe Brownie keeping LhelvY trapped in the corner, but LhelvY just snakes his way out. Banana peel.
The flying doctor gets away, hit the jump dust on there on the throw, and out, and you know what? It's on fire. We didn't like that anyway. Have to force the burst on her. Get out of here, doctor.
Counter hit actually dissipated the pool ball there, and now life bar is just about even, but LhelvY's gonna get caught by this Dark Angel. Wait, no, the scalpel doesn't have a hitbox.
No, it doesn't. Oh, you had to do guard extra on top of that here. Another 6P gets the mark on there, but nothing else follows it. LhelvY responds in kind with a 6P of their own, and there's a flash.
Maybe just a little bit of a rub-in. I'm pretty sure that mix would have killed there at the very end, regardless of whether you RC'd it or not. LhelvY getting pushed back into that trumpet there, and Joe Brownie trapped against the corner. You're getting a new hairdo.
That hairdo. You know what? You might as well, while we're here, let's work on the shins a little bit here. You need a whole shin replacement here because LhelvY broke it completely on there. Going to get the positive bonus onto the other side, and enough for a setup on there to set that pro on fire.
Good of RA from Joe Brownie, but still trapped against the corner thanks to the instant PRC Crow. Joe Brownie sending out Dark Angel, trying to take some screen space where you can.
Oh, that was so much blocking, so much faultless defense happened to be used. Has no real meter to work with all of a sudden here, just because of the blocking and the chipping away at that meter.
Oh no, I thought LhelvY got the counter hit instead. Getting anti-air counter hit immediately. He's pulling the trigger on the burst, but Joe Brownie ready for it. Takes the first game. A pretty close one, though, for both sides.
Yeah, Larry was getting the licks in where they counted on there. Joe Brownie was able to. I really think a lot of that was ended up being outside of like your setup. Like you really denied Lurie a lot of meter, just like got drained away like a Capri Sun package at there. Like so, you're not able to do any RC mix-ups. You're not able to do your full gamut. You're trying to have to like just play normal. I hesitate to say the word normal Faust, but you got to play a little bit normal Faust.
There's nothing normal about Faust. I was going to correct you, all right?
Yeah.
The man has not been normal for about 3 or 4 games.
When you right on there. Go and trade in a little bit of love into the mix into the corner one more time here. You're going to get a little OTG, and you're going to get some like above the ground damage on top of that here. Enough for that overdrive, and Lurie is making a real statement here.
Yeah, the normally low damage overdrive is enough to send Joe Brownie into round 2. Oh, wow!
Okay, kicks away the cue ball on there, but you know, like going to go low and try to go for the command grab. It's been working very well for Lurie this entire time, but we get the item. The meteors, the rare time meteors does not get a guard crush or even connects with Joe Brownie.
Lurie with the mix, sending Joe Brownie to the right side of the screen. Joe Brownie does have burst available to them, but probably going to hold on to it for a little bit. Never mind, uses it for a gold burst instead.
YRC to get off of it, we're back into it, and the 6B hits all the way onto the other side, has a meter to make it work on here, and the mix going to guarantee on the other side, but not the guts to commit to a victory.
But that most certainly will. Lurie raking at the air, seeing what happens. What happens is that Lurie wins that round, and also a quick bracket update for you all. At home right now, Fat DQing out.
Oh,
Test Your Luck will be automatically advancing to winners finals.
That is unfortunate to hear. I was looking forward to seeing her Bridget come out to play on it. I know has been trying to put in the work, had an impressive run tonight on Paragon, so hate to see that we do not see it in this top 8.
What we are seeing in this top 8 right now, Lurie down a burst, but Joe Brownie, Yokai's very own Joe Brownie, already very close to death.
Very close on that, and we're going to go in like with the jump into the command throw. Going to be definitely enough on there after the fast RC to finish off the job here. Lurie taking the lead now.
Stinger shot does connect on Lurie. Good just block from Lurie.
Okay, with the 5K on top of that, the hammer comes crushing down on Joe Brownie's head into the Afro, playing a little bit of golf. Par 2, par 3, going to go in, like looking for it. The final hit into the hole, but no dice with that burst from Joe Brownie.
Lurie does connect at the very end of the mix with a counter hit, and now Joe Brownie, only 50% tension, does take a little bit of space with the PRC, but Lurie seemingly in control. The child! The child!
You gotta watch out because the problem child is definitely here to stay on there afterwards. Nom goes the throw. That's definitely going to be enough to make it 2-1 now, Lurie side.
I mean, Lurie is just continuing where he left off from yesterday. Just seems very much in the pocket, and it seems like we might have a rematch from yesterday if things continue on, but we will cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, Lurie just needs one more game to close out.
No fate but what we make right here. Joe Brownie's still in this. This is winner side, of course. After we started with the loser side at the beginning of this top 8 on there, and we're throwing out the cue balls, low profile in by Lurie.
Getting caught by the active cue ball, though, is Lurie, and Joe Brownie, though, down a burst already. Lurie not far behind, but look at the life disparity at the moment.
Setting up the ball low style on there afterwards here. Try to go in for the love. It gets snuffed out of there. And Joe Brownie's own command grab going to go into the black hole sun. Won't you come? Get to the other side.
Jump Z connects same side, and Lurie going to evaporate there. Joe Brownie 1 round away from bringing us to a game 5, but if Lurie has anything to say, this is going to be 2 rounds in his favor. Starting off with a snip, snip, snip. Getting the Afro Light. Here's another hairdo for you.
Yeah, check it out here. Like, Files is just giving them away for free, but you may not like how it looks in the end, and you may not like what he's doing to your shins after this. He's being very helpful. He swears. He swears.
Joe Brownie, I don't think you want to be a hero and go for the burst at the moment. Meanwhile, Lurie gonna get burst spin 50% of it in order to shut things out, and now on set point, Joe Brownie starts things off. Jump D does connect.
Right. Going to go ahead with the follow-up here. Donut in the favor here. You know, it's always a good day when you find a donut on the ground. Do not do, that's not good Paragon advice. Do not eat a donut on the ground. Well, we go in with the dive scalpel on there afterwards here. We're playing a little bit of Pong with the ball, the bomb, and it's going to get hit by Lurie.
Paper Bag Bomb actually does clash with the Stinger shot, and Lurie does get the counter hit. Joe Brownie immediately pulling the trigger on the burst. We got a little bit of potassium in our system on Lurie's side. Joe Brownie just trying to box out Lurie.
Okay, a lot of cue balls out on the menu. One of them does hit on the low, and we're gonna block that. The burst rather on there afterwards here, and we're gonna connect with one more. The billiards are now tied. This is a match.
This is one hell of a match. A very close one. Either one looks to be in the position to win tonight, but winning does mean you have to go up against Test Your Luck. Winner of this is going to be staying on to face Kensei immediately.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Starting things off a little bit of distance there, pushing away on the trumpet, comes out to play. The parade continues on, and we are blocking the 6P on there. Lurie's been trying to go for that command grab yet again and not getting anything for it.
Lurie, so tantalizingly close rather, to picking up that donut. Instead, it's Joe Brownie is reaping the delicious rewards, but Lurie, oh no, not close enough for the dust.
About a swing and a miss on there by Lurie as we're getting pushed over to the west side corner. Going to get the confirm pretty easy to the RC side switch into the mix, stay on the same side, but we're ready for it. We are tapping away with a mash in there from Joe Brownie right into the Dark Angel.
And the missile to pick up off of OTG as well. Joe Brownie, calm, cool, and collected, in control of this round. Lurie going to need a miracle to get back into it, but a miracle is just an item toss away.
Oh, absolutely here. You're not going to get it this time around, though. We're going to get into set point for Joe Brownie based on that cue ball in here, and we're already backing away, trying to get away from the dive from Faust.
Big anti-air to start things off. Lurie. Joe Brownie is not giving up this burst. They are keeping it close to the chest. And Lurie does have a meteor in pocket.
Yeah, kept it on there like new, just in case. You always want to keep a meteor in your pocket for these type of situations. They're firing away on there and just goes in for the trickery on there. Joe Brownie was expecting probably anything else but the command grab, and now Lurie is joining Joe Brownie into the set point. Only one can move on forward, Squid.
Final game, final round. It's a game of inches at this point. Joe Brownie off to a good start.
Checking one more time here. A lot of follows defense. Nothing on the menu. We're going to go in for the air throw. Gets a little bit of OTG. That wall is about to break.
Joe Brownie steals it up. A 3-2 in their favor. And Lurie, do not hop off the set. You have got to play against. Absolutely, and now Kensei looking for a little bit of revenge from yesterday's tournament. Lurie, I want to say Lurie won their set yesterday, like maybe 3-0, 3-1. So Kensei, we'll see what training have you done in the last 24 hours. It seems like you've been in the hyperbolic time chamber for a full day.
Man, I don't know if I do any training in at times here of a day. I gotta, sometimes you gotta go to work, sometimes you gotta stew on it, sometimes you gotta go swing on the set a little bit as you contemplate the match before. Right now though, Kensei is on fire, going 100 miles per hour and finishing off that first round.
Kensei still with the full stick of burst to work with. Lurie working on theirs, instead invests it on a blue Wild Assault, able to get the hit, start things off. Kensei close to the corner, almost slipped on the banana peel, but still able to convert.
Oh, and you're going to go ahead and get the break on the wall here. Definitely going to scale down on the damage there, but we're going to get the approach from the PRC into the command grab on here. Kai with the full stick of butter ready to go, making some baked potatoes potentially in the near future here, but not before Lurie can get this damage and go for the setup afterwards.
Bomb on Lurie's side doesn't mean that he's still in block stun. Kensei actually picked up the trumpet and Lurie forced to use burst, but the 100-ton weight actually trips Kensei up. But a fortunate back throw for Kensei does mean that he still can apply pressure.
Oh, we're checking with the 5K a little bit. Time to get up. We're going from the sky into the RC, into the command grab. All right, I see you, Lurie. Bringing it down with the surprise, tying up the round count.
Here we go, Lurie with the fishing line. There's the 5-iron being brought out. Kensei already bleeding heavily at this point. The child is angry.
Well, the child is angry because Lurie got the 5K counter hit, realizing that with a little bit of extra help on another 5K would have gone right into Mini Faust for that. However, Kensei was able to pick that back up, get that ride the lightning onto the other side, try to go in for another punish, but the PRC, the command grab, goes in Lurie's favor.
Throw a light on Kensei's side. There it goes for the guard crush. But Kensei staying defensively strong even through the blue Wild Assault of Lurie. And Kensei just about to get this burst back, but Meteor Strike coming in like a Super CO from Sturm from Advance Wars. And that will net Lurie the win. One game on the board.
Okay, yeah, just had to use the burst at that particular moment because otherwise it was just going to be the end a little bit sooner. But was able to get away and had to make that one last interaction there. Lurie goes in, gets a nice clean hit to finish off everything. And here we go again. Loser quarters here, we're continuing on.
Absolutely, and yeah, Lurie continuing the path of destruction. Kensei, though, taking an offensive posture to start things off. Lurie already trapped against the corner. There's a bomb on the floor. Kensei, though, good acknowledgement of it.
I'll try to use the jump dust to get away from Mini Faust. I'm still triggered the child in the very end here. Now we're trying to check out with the half circle heavy from Lurie.
Instant PRC Crow does close distance. Kensei gets baited into pulling the trigger on the DP, and now there's a Meteor Strike once again. Laser targeted.
We're getting all the good items. This is this Mario Kart is cheating.
What's all this? There's another meteor!
Oh no! Unfortunately, turns right about around. Bombs for bombs this time for Lurie. Back into the corner here, having to hold down the pressure on there, but finds the gap into the dive scalpel one more time. Lurie turns that around, which would have been a terrible situation to be in.
No doubt. Lurie trying to take this 2-0 lead right now. Meanwhile, Kensei just trying to equalize round count at the moment. Kensei half health already gone, but about to get burst back. Lurie 50% chance to work with, now 100.
Into the Sacred Edge here. Applies the static shock state on there afterwards here. Upon everything else here, and it looking very good for Kensei as it building up the meter. Cancels out the PRC from Lurie to go ahead with that command grab.
Afro is a light and actually catches Kensei off guard. Lurie getting caught out by his own 100-ton weight.
Block burst on there afterwards here. Has all the time in the world to make your own combo with the Stun Dipper at the very end. Another round for Kensei, trying to tie it up again.
Yeah, late burst investment from NhelvY as well. We're not going to have that burst in time unless we can get a positive bonus somewhere. Many Faust trying to close distance, but turns away just before Kensei gets hit. Never mind! Kensei accidentally knocking over the child.
Okay, the PRC guaranteed on the confirm on there afterwards. We're trying to break that wall, or we're just going for the OTG. Here's that command grab on it. This could actually put Kensei into a position where the wall breaks and the round is over. We're waiting for a moment here. Goes in for the tap dust on there afterwards here. I love that slight pause from NhelvY here. Just like, it's like, hey, you, like we chilled. You going to hit a button? You done? Okay, no, tap dust. Tap dust right now.
Kensei, a 2-0 deficit at the moment, is going to need to start a reverse sweep. But NhelvY's just been playing so solidly tonight. Only just barely losing that final round to Joe Brownie just moments ago does not seem like it's bothering him at all.
Yeah, still warm up from the last match for sure. Kensei trying to make this happen here. I could definitely see the trades going in the favor of Kensei in the future. But in the meantime, though, NhelvY's going to try to see what they can do to prevent all that.
Early exchange going the way of NhelvY, although Macro on his own head, but the Stampede comes in.
Yeah, you get the guard crush thanks to the love with the Afro on there afterwards here. Mix back into the corner, nearly to the last third of life here. Nice little confirm back on there with the 2K rather, anti-air from NhelvY. Or you know what? He may be going back the other side. Maybe if the Meteors have anything to say about it. More.
I do not know how NhelvY has been getting so lucky with these Meteors. Set point now for him. Kensei desperately scrabbling and clawing for a single game at this point.
If I had a hammer in the morning, it's going to be dodged thanks to the stun dipper during the combo. Wise move from Kensei just to go ahead and continue on their pressure afterwards here with direct play. Gets away from the low from NhelvY, but not from the love.
Their fireball does not hit, and now Kensei got to deal with the many fouls, but still getting caught out. What a conversion!
Yeah, follow with a 6H to break that wall. Kensei has more than half that burst right back at it. May not have a chance to regain back all the way if have to slow down the game to make it happen. PRC gets caught on the backdash all the way through it, and you know what? You're not even going to have a chance to use that first reward because the match is over. And I see Test Your Luck's name. I just want to do it like the Mortal Kombat announcer, like Test Your Luck.
I mean, that is totally intentional. Test Your Luck, if you did not know, started out as an MK player, a very successful MK player from Canada. I think he might have qualified for one of the MK World Tour Cups at one point before making his way over here on Strive. And I mean, he's a fantastic player. Like, if an org would be lucky enough to like pick him up, they are going to have a very good one. But here we go. Test Your Luck versus Joe Brownie. Winner gets grand finals advantage, and Test Your Luck already off to a blistering start.
Yeah, we had a couple of those Mortal Kombat players that came over from to Strive on their K7 show off being another one as well. But as we go on through, we're throwing out the balls early on into the jumping dust from Joe Brownie.
Yeah, as I was alluding to earlier as well, here's the double-edged sword of how Test Your Luck plays Nagoriyuki, trapped in that very close third blood bar. Joe Brownie just taking what he's been given, running away with that first round, but Test Your Luck already off to a better round two.
Yeah, Test Your Luck giving the hand early on, and they're forcing the burst away from Joe Brownie, setting up the balls yet again on there, and with the jumping dust do some additional positioning on here. We're trying to keep Test Your Luck guessing on which side it's going to land.
Once again, Test Your Luck in that third blood bar, closing distance with a Fukio, but is going to tip over!
Oh no! The pop goes to Nagoriyuki on there afterwards, so we're going to get the punish. Joe Brownie taking that pretty quickly, and I think there's something to say about what you were saying earlier, Squid. Like, TestYourLuck's been on the sidelines a little bit, has to get really warmed up, and Joe Brownie was ready.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Brownie also did have a little bit of a wait in order to play this. I mean, to be fair, but I mean, this is more on TestYourLuck's side, just trying to get back into the 3 out of 5 as it is. If TestYourLuck was playing ranked earlier at all, we already see TestYourLuck using that blood-sucking universe very early on, getting cash back on the credit card, re-closing distance as the blood creeps into the 3rd bar, but just stops before tipping over.
What's the interest on that credit card? We gotta look at it. Like after so little bit of time, like damage could be immense in here. Oh no! The connection. What's happening? Is the connection winning? Connection gets 1 point.
I think a server just blew up somewhere. That counter hit was so gnarly on Joe Brownie's side. Strive could not handle it.
I do like this this freeze frame in here with Nagoriyuki nearly about to fall on here. It's like, so you wonder how I got into this situation.
Yep, that's me.
That's me, Vampire Samurai.
And are we going to see one of these two disconnect, or... I'm actually going to double check the server here real quick.
All right, yeah, it looks like we're gone. Like they have been disconnected from the room. We'll get everything all squared away here. Fortunately, that was only the first match here so far. So we're the second match rather here. Joe Brownie is up 1. We're gonna go ahead and recreate the room. Thank you all for your patience here. Love that. Like again, especially after Frosty Faustine, I said it before, I'll say it again, a little worried that people were going to be maybe like a little bit tired, a little bit like, I want to rest. No, people are coming out for blood.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess if you're not qualified for AWT at this point, this is sort of like, you know, I'm preparing for next year, is sort of the mentality that you've got to go for. If you're not going to go for LCQ, which, I mean, traveling over to Seoul in order to qualify for one final spot, that's a tough ask for anyone, especially if coming over from the States, the Europeans as well. I could not imagine how much trouble they're going to have to go through in order to get to Seoul to qualify. I mean, I imagine that we're going to be seeing a lot of Japanese players, whatever the Australia contingent, maybe even the New Zealand contingent can show up in order to really qualify for that last spot. But I do not imagine that many overseas players. Funnily enough, I'm considering North America and Europe as overseas at the moment, what they can do.
Right. Like not even that too, with like what we have, like even this week, like, you know, we had TWT happen last weekend here, and I know from like I'm seeing from other tournaments, for Tekken tournaments here, they've been coming out to go into distance and here signing up for online events here as early as Tuesday on that. So I'm for ParagOnline for Thursday coming up here soon. I would not be surprised to see a lot of those names that we saw in the previous brackets come out again here. So people are hungry, people need that food. They're wanting to go to the online buffet, and we're going to continue with the smorgasbord of TestYourLuck versus Joe Brownie right now.
After our brief internet outage, we are back. Well, I say internet outage, more like a server exploded somewhere. TestYourLuck, that trademark aggression of theirs. Just spending that blood as soon as you got it. Joe Brownie getting caught by the second hit of the DP, trying to backdash something, but TestYourLuck ready, gets the first round of the second game.
All right, with like chasing down with the cue ball one more time in here. Joe Brownie has been representing the jumping dust time and time again to great effect in here, keeping a plus in there with the lows, and here comes the Navaranta run out afterwards. Okay, last chance.
TestYourLuck. And having to manage this blood gauge a little bit. Blood is probably not going to be a factor. This Dark Angel is going to keep TestYourLuck locked down, but it's going to be the forward throw to finish things off.
Okay, second hit of the DP does make his mark here. Trying to go like backs up on the Beyblade, forcing the Joe Brownie to whiff on the throw in here. TestYourLuck looking to try to complete this out here with the pressure. Blood-sucking Universe take a bite out of Crime into the Beyblade again.
Big forward throw from TestYourLuck, or Joe Brownie rather. Now Joe Brownie, Black Hole Sun, won't you come, as he call it out, and life bar is just about even. TestYourLuck though does have a bar to work with. The blood gets the high hit, counter hit, and able to equalize the game count.
Oh, and with the level 3 on there, the OTG was just enough damage on here to take it up, tie up the round count. Now we're in a 1st-2 situation, Squid.
Yeah, this is dangerous territory. Like TestYourLuck and Joe Brownie, I mean, both of them seemingly on equal footing at the moment. TestYourLuck obviously winning that one after the lobby remake definitely means that momentum is on their side, but we'll see how long they can keep that momentum as we head into game 3. Aggressive burst usage from TestYourLuck. Joe Brownie, though, using the burst to keep TestYourLuck in the corner. Another forward throw. TestYourLuck cannot really use a special without going into Blood Rage.
Oh, and beautiful routing on there into the run out once more here. Joe Brownie trying to maintain some dominance, and you know what? Cool trick shot off the backside there to get TestYourLuck down on the ground.
Good backdash from Joe Brownie. Knew that TestYourLuck was going to go for the cash back with the blood-sucking Universe, and now TestYourLuck only a bar of the blood to work with, and having to guess on the oak. He guesses right. Now we're walking to the other side of the screen.
Right back at it there. You know what? We're going to go pop off of there. You're going to get the follow-up. Nothing else on there afterwards here. So we're going to hold it down, try to get in there with the Wild Assault in there. Manages to get away from the cue balls coming in from Venom.
Blood Rage is incoming, and that's going to be curtains for TestYourLuck. Joe Brownie, 2-1 lead.
Oh, what a heavy day as the lyrics of that song were about to hit on there. But Joe Brownie taking the lead, has one more to go to sit pretty in grand finals on here. But TestYourLuck has been showcasing some work here. I could see it going into that game 5.
I mean, if it goes to game 5, well, no matter what happens, it's going to be fast. Like, let's just put that out on the table right now. Like, this 4th game is going to go fast. TestYourLuck taking a little bit of time, probably thinking.
And we got the character change? Oh no, we're going to keep with the Nagoriyuki. No surprise.
I've never known TestYourLuck to have anyone other than Nagoriyuki ready.
Same, yeah.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Try to get an approach. We're already back into level 2 blood. Going to level 3 very quickly on that. White Wall Assault trying to avoid some of this pressure. Joe Brownie really kind of setting the precedent here. Could be a very devastating thing if TestYourLuck gets the blood burst on there afterwards here. But we're holding down with 2H from TestYourLuck.
Blood gauge is very precarious on TestYourLuck's side. Meanwhile, Joe Brownie all-out aggression at the moment, trying to limit TestYourLuck's options.
XP as an option there, worked out very well. You've got the Nagoriyuki into the air here. Not enough to kill with the run out, but one more touch is all you need. Get that little love tap, and you know what? You can send them a ball of love at the same time too. Set point.
First available for both sides. TestYourLuck again. A very aggressive posture. Already in blood level 3. Slowly creeping down back to blood level 2, and now got to navigate this minefield.
Dark Angel coming out here, The Robokai assist on top of that if you get the hit on there afterwards, and it does connect on there, flying on to the other side here. Instant arrow dash. The burst comes out against TestYourLuck.
TestYourLuck living on borrowed time at the moment. Joe Brownie finds the last hit. It is
that Guilty Gear Vast Dredge, I think is the name of it. The pachinko slot, the slot machine game that was at Frosty Falsies over the weekend there. Maybe that may be where the luck may have been coming from with all these items blurry.
Well, we'll have to ask him later. Round start, it does go in the favor of Deafheaven, but Lurie very quick to equalize. No burst spent on either side just yet.
Throwing out the love, the trade on there keeps Deafheaven into the corner. Not for very long though. Try to go in with the air dash, gets denied with the 6P by Lurie, and get the back throw back into the corner here. Like Lurie's not been able to really get any items thrown out here, just like trying to get the teleport and going on the line for positioning. No, that actual bomber was glorious!
Lurie feeling the need to go for the late burst in the round, so Deafheaven should feel happy no matter what happens. But Lurie able to sneak away that round.
Checking out a banana peel, always slip on it.
Big counter hit now from Lurie.
Off to the other side there, close slash in there, holding down on the mark here. BRC trying to check for the lows in here. Lurie's not biting though.
Instant pro PRC, close distance, Deafheaven getting bopped in the head by the hammer. And Lurie able to navigate the offense, able to start some offense of his own. The bomb does get avoided by Deafheaven, but there's a mini Faust on the field, so that'll keep you locked down.
10-yard penalty on that mini Faust. Like pushes away on the axle on here. BRC for RC, we're trying to out. We're spending all the meter to keep up that position and try to get on the seesaw one more time, but it is going to be the close slash. Get the confirm in there for Deafheaven and get around on their side.
Yeah, but at the burst disadvantage because of the late investment, Lurie's going to have first crack at the burst. Good run-up counter hit. There it goes for Lurie. There's a donut on the field. Who's going to get the tasty treat first?
5-second rule. Going to go to Axel as the run-in on here. The 6H does make a connection, but here comes the meteorite. You got to watch out for it. Watch the skies.
Big counter hit.
Yo, West and I waiting with a party of 10. You're just in time for this loser semifinals beginning. Deafheaven versus Lurie. As Lurie puts on that afro one more time, it is set aflame. It's not going to be a good look for Axel when it's over.
Mini Faust on the field does get triggered. Meanwhile, Deafheaven does have to take evasive action. And Lurie, continuing this mountain of pressure, does find the opening needed. Will take this first game.
I think the best Faust is, like, I don't think anyone would be surprised to say, like, they use the command grab and they're going to go into, like, either jumping dust or being able to throw it out in there. I don't think anyone has as strong a record with it as Lurie, in my humble opinion.
I mean, Lurie's one of the best Fausts in North America, if not the world. Like, again, the player base, like, the tip top of player base for Faust is already so small, and Lurie just seems to be head and shoulders above nearly everyone.
Yeah, getting, like, we're going to see if we see more of North Carolina continue to be represented by Lurie as we go on. Takes the lead, has the lead right now. Deafheaven going to get the first hit in the second match.
Deafheaven not playing the zoning game all that much. Instead, wants to get up close and personal with Lurie. These long-range buttons in order to close in distance. Lurie, though, playing tit for tat, equaling damage with more damage. There's a mini Faust on the field now.
Who let mini Faust out there? Doesn't even matter. He's just having a good old time there. Final hits are going to be by the big Faust instead.
A little bit of neutral being played. Lurie, the first one to close distance and really find a significant hit, but a good anti-air button from Deafheaven does earn burst out of Lurie.
Yeah, haven't seen the 2S represented a lot from Deafheaven, like in the matches that we've seen them on stream here, but we're going to go in. Nice little back throw here, back into neutral, hold down with the deep jumping heavy slash in there one more time, waiting for those confirms and not biting on it. Going to keep it plus with the rainwater, and we try to find that one precious hit. There it is with the 5P.
Risky. This is a nail biter. I hate to say it. Like, any misplaced button from Deafheaven means that Lurie gets right back into a round that Deafheaven is dominating. And I mean, the mini Faust as well coming in late.
Well, yeah, my fists are clenched right now between the two here. Rez and Geki goes in for the slash follow-up on there, but goes in, jumping, slash. PRC doesn't find anything, but that 5K anti-air is going to be going some places.
Hammer right to the shins after the 500.
I've never heard Axel say that. I'm like, like just with the little like what going on there, like the Steve Scootin style. Oh my goodness! In the end, though, it was definitely in a whole field of pain there. Lurie with the 6P at the very end. Get the mark. We're up 2 now.
I mean, Risky, I'm not sure what Deafheaven has to do at this point. I mean, you can play as perfectly as you can if you're Deafheaven, but like I just said, the minute that you misplace a button, the minute that you place your foot down the wrong way, Lurie's ready.
We've been seeing, especially in that first match, they were vying, jockeying for position all across the board. Like they didn't care where they spent the RC on it, as long as they were in position to take advantage on there. I'm wondering if Deafheaven's going to be returning to that a little bit more, because right now Lurie is taking this full and well away. There's the burst in there to go back into Resengeki territory.
Now playing this full screen game that Axel has the right to, and Lurie really just buying time to try and generate resources, didn't really need to, died with full burst.
Yeah, gonna keep it, save that burst for marriage apparently on here, but goes in and gets the 2H to begin things with the OTG and goes into the tried and true Lurie command grab setup.
After a light, now Deafheaven gonna have to take a guess. Guess is wrong, gets popped up and gets sent through the wall.
Check it out with the 5H on there, but the confirmed one more time here. Do you get enough with the mix? You get one more touch. The 2K into 2D, resetting back into the far ground.
An instant Crow PRC throw will seal it up. Lurie now on match point.
Oh, the indigestion from that on there, 100 tons of weight getting thrown out there, and another meteorite in there, going to force the guard crush away from Deafheaven. Finds his mark with the 2H in there, and we're going to go in with the setup on there. Maybe expected the bomb to explode a little bit sooner and did nothing for it, but the rainwater connects for Deafheaven.
This is definitely what Deafheaven needs. A near unassailable life bar or life lead at the moment, but wait a minute, Lurie getting one of his signature sick conversions. Deafheaven half health gone, no burst in sight. Lurie, will Minifowl save Lurie? No!
No, not in time. The RC is going to be, this is going to be enough if you get the final hit. No, has the one final interaction, goes into it, cancels out with the wild assault at the very end with the low end tube. Hey, good on you. Check out this match coming up right now between Nagoriyuki and Faust.
Yeah, TestYourLuck, definitely learning from yesterday, taking a little bit more of a defensive posture before committing into the all-out aggression, but still getting tripped out by the Minifaust.
We were talking about that tier range of just 3-4 on there from Minifaust, putting in the work for sure here. Going for the 2K, just getting denied on it. We're at level 3 blood gauge, so a little bit more chip damage on it. We are about close to that popping range on here. Get the confirm into the RC for Lurie.
Lurie, I don't think can kill from here. No, combo scaling a little too high. The guts also kicking in for TestYourLuck, but TestYourLuck's limited options to work with because of that blood gauge. and NhelvY just sticks out the 5K, gets the first round.
Just like that, but we're not stopping. It's a blitzkrieg of terror coming from Nagoriyuki, the blood-sucking universe. Take a bite out of crime. You know what? Bite it again. Bite it again.
But a big forward throw from NhelvY to finally stop the bleeding. Here's another one with the snip, snip, snip. Good backdash from TestYourLuck. TestYourLuck does have freedom to use specials as they need because of the empty blood gauge, but NhelvY in a much better spot right now.
All right, catches on the love, but nothing else afterwards. Big jumping peak counter hit for TestYourLuck, and we're already blocking. Yeah, you have to use all the meter, cancel it out there, but TestYourLuck was ready with the throw.
As we head into this final round of the first game, both players with a full stick of burst to work with. Paper Bag Bomb does get blocked on TestYourLuck's side, and now TestYourLuck commits to going in, but the burst from NhelvY shuts down the approach. And a late burst from TestYourLuck saves him from a lot of damage.
We saw NhelvY going up there. Maybe expected the float in there coming in for against Faust on there. We tried to go in with the jumping dust by TestYourLuck. Unfortunately, not going to get rewarded with it. In fact, taking a lot of damage from that, from the wall burst with the 6 HP ender.
TestYourLuck cannot commit to a special, otherwise is going to tip over. Well, I was able to get a little bit of blood gauge in order to go for the Fukio, but NhelvY shuts down the comeback attempt. It is a 1-0.
Burnt Taco's asking who's waiting in Grand Finals. That would be Joe Brownie, who has been playing the Venom to a eviscerating degree right now.
Absolutely, and no matter what happens, it is going to be a revenge match for the Grand Finals. Either TestYourLuck or NhelvY making it out of here.
Duel 1.
That's going to be a good one, so definitely stick around on here. We're already going to go well into level 2, potentially just almost skipping it all the way into the level 3 here. Big damage coming for TestYourLuck, and there's a big counter hit forcing the burst away from NhelvY.
Yeah, but the Fukio forward into the low will seal it up for TestYourLuck. It is a perfect, but it definitely feels like TestYourLuck is trying to change up his tempo. Not immediately committing into that level 3.
Yeah, ducking on there. Doesn't even like follow on the 2H on there afterwards. Here, oh, we're slicing down. That one look, you're hurting poor little mini Faust, and you're understandable. Like she's been causing a lot of trouble tonight.
And the Fukio forward into the low will seal it up. How fast was that game? Was that a total of 30 seconds? 40 seconds?
I'm trying to count the number of blinks I did during that. I didn't actually blink. I was trying to like pay much attention, but the times where it felt like it was only like 10 or so blinks. We were almost into the teenagers a blink in my eye before that one. That was so quick.
Yeah, TestYourLuck. Again, as I was saying in between matches, a revenge match of sorts between these two from yesterday's factory tournament. TestYourLuck wanting to get the rubber match, as it were.
Okay, who's going to like swing back on this afterwards? We're backing away here. We're going a little bit fishing. The burst away early on here. Going to be very valuable in the side of NhelvY here. And just, you know what? We'll go for it again. Fishing mini game is on point.
Yeah, TestYourLuck not quite into level 3 just yet. Only now just tipping over after the movement option. But NhelvY getting the wall break. TestYourLuck's options are becoming more limited by the moment because of the blood gauge, and NhelvY taking advantage of it, taking the first round.
Oh, TestYourLuck is definitely keeping the item tosses in mind there. Saw the meteorites come in there, tried to avoid all of them with a super jump, but put themselves into the corner, and NhelvY was ready with the follow-up there.
Counter hit Beyblade does mean that NhelvY gives up first, and TestYourLuck staying as close to NhelvY as he can. There's the tap dust combo. I don't think this will kill, not even with Faust Weak's guts it will. But the 5P will be enough.
No golf for you here. Go back to the clubhouse.
And yeah, TestYourLuck definitely trying to change up the tempo every so often. Occasionally taking a little bit more time before committing into that fast level 3 before committing into the fast aggression every so often, just going right away into Luri's face. And we can sort of see the end result, a much slower match this time.
Yeah, and we're still being very cognizant of the item. Was jumping above on the 100-ton weight from Luri threw out there. Now the hammer comes out to play there. One more interaction, gets the 6H, but not the follow-up.
TestYourLuck might be able to commit one more special. Blood Rage does happen, and that's gonna be it. Luri, 2-1 lead. But I mean, TestYourLuck is really starting to get things all together at this point. Like yesterday, this seemed like Luri's match. Like Luri was just so ready for the match, even though like the grand finals reset did end up being 3-2 in favor of Luri. But TestYourLuck has been doing great with the adaptation tonight.
Duel 1.
Okay, let's see how it goes. If we're going to go see more of it, we're going to tie up the match count on here. We're already backing away here, trying to find that first momentum in here. It's going to be the 5H from Luri getting first blood.
And Blood Second Universe to reset the blood gauge for TestYourLuck, getting the full cash back on the credit card. Good anti-air, Luri forced to burst.
Oh yeah, gets to confirm, but forced to deal with the bounce parade. I like that just to avoid the mini Faust on there, just to get the little hit and take the round to TestYourLuck.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. TestYourLuck. Oh no, getting caught out by the fire syringe. In level 3 blood. Luri just trying to play a little bit of keep away, trying to bait TestYourLuck into overcommitting maybe a little bit, but now finally closing distance, finally getting that aggression as TestYourLuck's options are now limited.
Oh, mix yet again. If at first you don't succeed, continue the mix.
TestYourLuck not, or wall splatted low enough that the bone crushing excitement will connect. It will kill, and now Luri on set point, but down burst.
The low touch point on the dive scalpel on there afterwards here. We're going to go try with the Beyblade. A little bit of a trade in here as we're going near the pop territory on that level 3. TestYourLuck has got to be very careful right now.
I thought for a moment that TestYourLuck had overcommitted, but thankfully that wasn't the case. Luri digging in the pockets, finding a meteor. There's a trumpet. There's a 100-ton weight, and TestYourLuck inches away from popping.
We are a full Looney Tunes episode away from a victory on here. Gets a close slash on there afterwards here. The bone-crushing excitement is going to be moving all the way to the bank, moving headlines in the news, and going to get a second showing in Grand Finals. Strive number 70 for Paragon. Joe Brownie's in a really good position on winner's side, though.
Absolutely. We'll see if Luri being on the hot seat is the buff that it normally is for people, or is Joe Brownie just too hot to handle?
The call out on the beginning of Jumping Dust in there, Luri was able to, wow, okay. We missed on the swing batter, unfortunately. No tap dust for you.
Back throw incident in the favor of Joe Brownie, and now Luri forced to guess.
Come to punch you back for just a little bit. Robokai is pleased by that, but here comes the bombs. One more time. Fishing mini game into the bomb with a follow-up. Unfortunate trade.
Dark Angel coming out. There's the PRC in order to be actionable sooner. Good jumping P's for Joe Brownie. Luri only on borrowed time. Finally, it runs out.
Big scary mask coming out to play though. First banana we've seen in a little bit of a minute actually on here. Between all that, we're holding down with the cue ball just from a distance there. Finally finds a way in there with the air float all the way into the corner. Into the neutral rather. Sorry, Phil.
Luri investing into the Wild Assault, and Joe Brownie about half health. Bomb does keep Joe Brownie locked down, if only for a moment. Instant Crow PRC into the throw, and now Luri continuing to set up items, does open Joe Brownie, if only for a moment, but a great backdash on the attempted command grab.
May have been a little bit too predictable in Act 3 on there. Joe Brownie was able to get that on the backdash on the throw. Gives him going to get the firm in the RC!
Oh man, that super sucks. I hate that super so much.
You know it on there. Going to split on the balls here, play a little bit of the billiards game one more time, and we're going to send down Dark Angel, the big ball.
100-ton weight does send Joe Brownie back down to earth. Burst does get baited, but it is Joe Brownie able to hit Lurie first. Joe Brownie 2 games away from being tonight's champion.
Yeah, already like making some good headway here at the very beginning. Man, this is oh, I feel it. This is a good one. This is gonna be a good one.
If we don't get another game 5, I will riot.
Letting the eagle fly though, all the way back to where we are. Hope you've enjoyed everything here as we're continuing on grand finals here.
Mutual respect given to both sides before Joe Brownie is the first one to find the hit. Lurie already bleeding pretty heavily, has to give up burst.
And here comes the MVP yet again. Mini Faust already back into the corner here. Like the use of it, timing out the backdash to get the throw and to avoid Mini Faust altogether here.
Black hole pocket is not enough to kill Lurie, and Joe Brownie, a very healthy life lead, is insurmountable at this point. Closes it out.
We have been studying, we have been learning from those matches out here. Joe Brownie adapted all the way through here. Not going to try to make it into that, like, as close it was as winter semifinals here. The Mix stay on the same side, but here comes the command grab. Get yourself a new do.
Joe Brownie commits the first, trying to stay in this round, but it seems like this is Lurie's round right here. No tension to work with, a full stick of burst on Lurie's side. Meanwhile, Joe Brownie does have 50% tension, but getting hit by the mix. There's the stampede. It's not enough to kill. Joe Brownie still has a shot, but Lurie shuts the door.
Shuts the door and opens up the sky on top of that.
Big forward throw for Joe Brownie. And now Lurie locked down into the corner, gets opened up. There's the black hole pocket going through the wall.
Okay, that's not going to fit in any sort of billiard pool, but it's doing the job right here for Joe Brownie. Gets to confirm one more time. Yeah, you have no other option but to use the burst at the very moment. Perfect is going to be on the menu for Joe Brownie. We're 2 up, Squid. We might not see the game 5 with the way Joe Brownie is playing.
No, definitely not. Joe Brownie does seem to have the download. Lurie, last life, gonna need the reverse sweep. We'll see if it happens. Well, thank you everybody for watching ParagOnline Top 8.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
We head into potentially our final game of the night.
Oh, immediate run out, command grab. Joe Brownie is nowhere to be found. Nothing but the corner pocket for Joe Brownie right now.
Jump D does get blocked, but Lurie getting chipped away. Half health gone. Now about 30% left. Tough to tell. What a counter hit!
I'll try to go in for the air throw in there, and that's going to give Lurie a chance to go keep Joe Brownie into the corner, gets the throw on them, a little bit of plus frames on there afterwards, and sets it up, sets them on a flame, and goodbye burst.
Joe Brownie committing the Dark Angel, Instant Crow PRC, does still get caught out by the Dark Angel!
Oh my god, I would like to point out, like, gets onto the other side there, was very smart just to hold down as the Dark Angel was approaching on there, let it hit Lurie, and now we're on set point.
Final life for Lurie for the moment. Joe Brownie, though, looking a little worse for wear to start off this round. Lurie gonna get that positive bonus, gonna send Joe Brownie through the wall with the hard knockdown.
Yeah, get that broken bone on there. Yeah, it hurts. It definitely hurts on there. You're going to have like at least a little third of that life bar left. Go, and here comes Mini Faust popping out.
Jump B doesn't find anything. The Mini Faust to lock down Joe Brownie, if only for a moment. Lurie stays alive.
6 HP and a very nice round on there to keep alive at this point here. 6P is saying something, forcing the burst away. Lurie is in the corner, but you know, your Faust, you got the sky, you got the teleport on there, and as soon as you get that meter, you may not even need it. The meteorites are coming out.
Yeah, but it's a shallow toss. Joe Brownie has just been zoning Lurie out. All of this damage has just been from Stinger Shot and Ball Set. But here we go. Lurie finally closes the distance, immediately equalizes the life bars, actually takes the lead, has 50% tension to work with as well as his positive bonus. Joe Brownie has got to make something happen.
Oh, got to make it happen. Right now, it goes into jump D and close out that gap on there. Lurie, time to go to the hospital.
The low damage super, but the RC follow-up means that Lurie survives.
Oh, that was some amazing play right there. That was, Joe Brownie's been getting away with jump dust all night. Has been doing a really good job setting up those the cue balls to keep it relatively safe on there, but just was just a little too high, and Lurie was ready on the trigger to fire away.
Absolutely, and oh man,
Duel 1.
gotta get focused. Game 4, Lurie finally on the board, but Joe Brownie still only needs this game to be tonight's champion.
All right, nice little use of the low profile to get away from the cue ball. Time to set some items out into play. The donut just waiting out there. The trade was not worth it though. Got a little more damage from the cue balls than you got from the life you got from the donut.
Stanger from Joe Brownie sends Lurie back in. What a bait on the burst on Joe Brownie's side. Lurie, risky sweep. I think if Lurie can make this comeback, he is a god at this point.
Oh, anything is definitely possible. It's a choose your own adventure book. Doesn't get the follow-up on the 2D afterwards, but unfortunately, we're going to the bad end for Lurie on here. We're on set point after the ball came crashing down. We're in the mix. The third hit finally gets the mark, though.
Anti-air counter hit. Joe Brownie immediately burst, so that way Lurie's the one in the corner.
Checking out long distance on there. Enough time to set up the item. Try to teleport. Gets denied by Joe Brownie.
Teleport gets blown up again. Lurie just didn't have any time to immediately PRC. Has to invest into the flex shield. This time does get instant teleport command grab.
Into the 2K, triple hits on there. Oh, expected maybe Lurie to get up a little bit closer in there for the 6P. No dice about that though. Oh, Joe Brownie gets the side switch into the air throw. Going to get that corner. Big time on here. Doesn't have the meter to make it work. Lurie has a full stick of butter.
Full stick of butter, but not a full stick of burst. Any hit will be enough, and Joe Brownie is tonight's Paragon champion.
How many times did Joe Brownie call out teleport in the match? That looked like 3 times at the minimum on there. With just like anytime you're ready for teleport, it's like I'm here for the hit. I'm here for that little love tap.